If you're a political file like me, then you might be ready for tonight. This is going to be a huge night here at the Liberty University Turning Point USA Election Night Gala. You might be wondering, hey, Kev, why aren't you there? Well, that's because we are going to be here tonight talking to students, talking to voters, getting to know exactly what people are thinking. And thank you so much. I'm your host, Kev Phares, and you're watching Speechless. Hey, everybody, and we are back to Speechless. You might be wondering, hey, Kev, why are you not in your apartment right now with just one flag behind you? Well, that's because, like I said, tonight we are live streaming from the Turning Point USA Election Night Gala. And at some point, I will be turning my camera around. You'll be able to see there's a beautiful gala set up here. We're going to have some different speakers, some different people that we're going to hear from. And this is going to be an action-packed night with some phenomenal and interesting people. Everybody, make sure you guys are in the comments. I want to hear exactly what you guys have to say about this election. Obviously, we are at a pivotal moment in our democracy. And when I say democracy, of course, I mean that colloquially. We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. And that is exactly what's on the ballot tonight. You'll see so many people that will come out and they'll say, democracy is at stake. Democracy is at stake. We aren't a democracy. We aren't a democracy. We are a constitutional representative republic. And that is why tonight you will see whether or not the Electoral College brings in a new president, or if we're going to go with somebody who has never actually received a single vote for her nomination, Kamala Harris. And we're going to talk about all of those. So please get in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking. We are going to cover it here. And if you're a first-time watcher, guys, thank you so much. Do not forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends, all that fun stuff. We are live here tonight at Liberty University, the most Christian, the most conservative university on the face of this earth. And guys, I will tell you, there is nothing like what I am seeing out here tonight. Actually, you know what? We're live, and like, I don't have a producer. If you know me, I don't have a producer, but I can even turn my camera around and I'll show you exactly what's in front of me right now. Give me a moment. Let's take a look out there. You can see there's beauty out here. There's not many people. Obviously, the doors are not opening yet. The doors will be open soon, but we have a lot of young Christian individuals who will be here to have serious a serious night, but also a joyous night in which we recognize that once every 4 years we gather after having voted to see exactly which direction this country will be taken towards. Are we going to go towards a more a government that overbears on its citizens, or are we going to be recognizing that we as citizens have a responsibility and a duty to live responsibly on our own without a parental state? That's truly what we should be looking for. We have the Raven in the comments there. He voted today. Thank you so much for voting. Everybody, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends, and don't go anywhere because we will be having interviews with a lot of different people that are going to come and check out. I hope you guys like everything. We can even see, you can see my little setup here. I got a little Trump 2024. It might not be coming up great on this with this light and everything, but do not worry, guys. We have so much we're going to cover tonight. We're going to talk about. We have a lot of fun people and a very exciting night. I don't know if you guys are anything like me, but you might be anxious to see exactly what's going to happen. Well, you might know that some of the polls have already closed, like over here in Virginia. Our polls have already closed. Let's start and take a look right here. This is the Daily Wire election coverage map, everybody. We're going to keep this pretty handy all night. We're going to keep an eye on what's going on in this Daily Wire election coverage map. We can see exactly what the polls are currently showing and try to get a better idea of what to expect. Obviously, some things starting to report. We have New Hampshire up here. New Hampshire with only about 5% of the votes in, seeming to go significantly for Kamala by about 3,000 votes right there. We go down to Virginia, where I'm at right now. Now, I currently believe that Virginia will likely go for Trump. I know this is against what a lot of polling shows, and I'm willing to bet that the precincts that are currently reporting are some of the more liberal ones, like closer to the DMV area up north. But I really do think that it could go for Trump. If we want to take a look, we're going to compare. This is the Daily Wire election map. Of course, you can see that it says up there Daily Wire, but we're going to compare this all night to what my guess was. And I know if you watched my stream last night, you might have been saying, you might have like not totally understood exactly what my guess was, but let's solidify it right here. Here is what I expect the outcome of this election to be. And we're going to talk a little bit about why I believe that this will be what we see the outcome to be. And you might be saying, oh my gosh, what Georgia? Why is Georgia like that? Why is Arizona like that? Well, we'll talk about it. Let's go right on into this. So if you look at Arizona right here, Arizona, I firmly believe Arizona will go for Kamala. And the reason why I believe Arizona will go for Kamala is because Kari Lake has not been a very popular person. I actually have a guest that will be joining me later tonight from Arizona. He's going to call in a little bit, and he's going to talk to us exactly about why he thinks Arizona will go for Trump. He's going to argue on the other side of it. And I'm really excited to hear a little bit more from him. Nevada will likely go for Trump. They've been close, but that's another one where even CNN, MSNBC analysts said yesterday, we won't know that one for weeks. And that's a problem because I firmly believe that many, if they were looking to go for Trump, they were ready to go out and vote for Trump. The more time a state takes to count, the more time there is for Kamala to find the votes somewhere. I mean, we saw what happened in 2020 with the little spikes over in Pennsylvania. So we want decisions tonight. We want to see what happens tonight. We do not want them to wait weeks and weeks, if not even months, to actually solidify their votes. When we can even look down here at Georgia, many people are asking themselves, they're saying, oh my gosh, Kev, why do you have Georgia as blue? Think about back in 2020. Now, I like Trump. I voted for Trump. If you see, I got my sticker right there. I voted for Trump, and people are asking, they might be saying, Kev, why do you have Georgia going for Kamala? The reason I have Georgia going for Kamala, everybody, is pretty simple. Back in 2020, Donald Trump told people, he said, don't vote. It doesn't work. And they had a Senate race that was very winnable. Very, very winnable. And it could have been, gone for, oh my gosh, back in 2020, I forgot who it was, but it ended up going for Raphael Warnock. And Raphael Warnock has had a stronghold down there. He ran, obviously, Herschel Walker ran against him in 2022. Herschel Walker lost. And they have a Democrat stronghold down there in their Senate. And it honestly lost Republicans a lot. And that's why I think Georgia will probably go for Kamala. But then we have some upsets. I have an upset that I will predict, and I predicted it before, and I predicted it last night, and I've been saying it for months. Virginia, I think, will go Trump. I believe Virginia will go for Trump. I was out here on Liberty's campus today, Liberty University here in Lynchburg, Virginia. And I think I even could find some pictures here. I think if I go, I could find some pictures of the polling place out here at Liberty University. Let me see. Again, this is a live show. And so I'm doing my best to find, to get the content up here as soon as possible. We could take a look here. Here is some lines of students here at Liberty University. Let's take a look. Here we go. To vote. Lots of students here waiting to vote out here at Liberty University. And the momentum and the passion for Trump is absolutely beautiful. Of course, many are very excited to vote for Trump. They were very excited this year, and not many people are as excited to vote for Kamala. Once again, if it seems like I'm a little flustered here, it's because I am. Let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking about the stream. I obviously don't have all the audio down pat, and so make sure if there is an issue with audio, if there's an issue with camera or anything, let me know in the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Please let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking about everything. But we have some amazing interviews we're going to do tonight, and we're also going to get to some content here. Make sure you guys are keeping up, and if you want to follow along right at home, you can go to the Daily Wire website and check out their election map and take a look at individual states. We obviously have Indiana here going. Indiana's basically already been called for Trump. That was kind of expected, but Indiana's already been called for Trump. We have Ohio here. Ohio basically coming close, likely Trump country, in my opinion, but we have 3% of the vote in. Fairly already 100,000 votes for Trump right there. 20,000 more than Kamala's got. And we got Kentucky already called for Trump. We got West Virginia already called for Trump. We got South Carolina already called for Trump. Georgia is obviously leaning Trump right now. That's only 9% of the vote in. We'll see exactly where that goes. It's considered more of a swing state. We got Florida down here. Florida having 60% in, and Trump is in the lead by just about 700,000 votes there. It's going to be a really interesting night in Florida, especially with the fact that the leading challenger against Donald Trump, I mean, you could argue it was Nikki Haley, but the only other person that anybody considered a serious contender for the 2024 Republican presidential primary was Ron DeSantis. And so Ron DeSantis being their governor, having dropped out, and now being a staunch supporter of the Republican Party. Can't see my Trump banner. It's directly behind you. Of course, maybe it's the big one back there. We could get it right there. So I could even take this off. If you want to see the Trump banner, of course you can see that back there. But I hope you could see me. I hope you guys could all see me. Am I too pixelated or anything? Let me know. But we can get this back up here. Vermont basically already called for Kamala. That's not surprising whatsoever. Vermont has been known to be one of the most liberal parts of the country in general. We have a lot we're covering here tonight. New Hampshire, still only 6% in. Let's see if there's any updates. But there's even news that came out today. Of course, Election Day is a big day in America. And so there's other news that comes out, especially from some of the campaigns. And there's things that I really find interesting that I want to know a little bit more about. And so one of which is the fact that President Biden has announced it was said that he won't even attend Kamala's election night party. Wow.
4 years at least now. Wow. Bewailing
President Biden won't even attend,
identifying all of its flaws, talking about what a terrible, ugly,
Daily Wire. The president will watch the election results
which it
less
is.
than 2
all
miles
of that is
away.
true.
Now, in all fairness to both Kamala
we
and Joe, I'm
have
willing to
not,
bet he'll be in
as
bed before
conservatives
most polls have even closed. He's probably in bed right now. That's why he's not attending. But President Joe Biden will not attend the election night watch party of his vice president, current Democrat nominee Kamala Harris. Biden will instead be watching the results just 2 miles away. And what appears to be the latest snub between the president and Harris.
Adult life,
tonight, the president and the first lady will watch election results in the White House residence
sweep it under the rug while we pursue material pleasures and technological advancements, and that God is dead or over or irrelevant, and we don't even have to think about virtue or abstract.
Once again, I'm willing to bet that this man is going to bed.
That idea turned out to be catastrophically wrong, even among the people who said that they believed it. And this is why the new atheists and all the Sam Harrises and Richard Dawkinses of the world have now been stampeded by a mob of young people
during the only presidential debate between Donald Trump and Harris. The former Republican president insisted that Biden hates Harris, a line he would repeat as his rallies following at his rallies following.
Simply have to proclaim your guilt, you have to confess your systemic racism, or you have to assume your position on the sacrificial pedestal as a minority or whatever, and now you will once again be in the grand cosmic dance of virtue.
I don't know. I doubt it, but maybe. We got a big
Christians
night,
are supposed to be different.
Yes, we absolutely do.
You are
my little Trump 2024. I know it's right behind me. At some point later, I'll probably sit down. I know it's also a little bright.
Than that. In a way that almost no other ideology or religion offers. G.K. Chesterton says, before you get the good news, you have to get the bad news. And the bad news is that whereas virtue is absolute and God's justice is perfect altogether and his righteousness is entire, we are at an infinite remove.
I hear something in the background. I can hardly hear you.
And the incarnation is the point
I know it's because I was probably further away from my mic. I hope you can hear me better now that I'm a little bit closer to it.
Willing to meet
I got the mic right here, and so we're at a gala right here. Actually, I showed earlier.
Wherever we are, whatever mess it is, however snarled, tangled we are, and boy are we in our past sins and the sins of our fathers and our ancestral guilt. God in Christ takes one step toward God the Father with us. And in terms of politics, this casts out as the ancient virtue of prudence, which is what you were talking about.
On the screen, let's get this map right back up here. Of course, if you want any other... Thank you very much, Demon Girl. I'm happy that somebody realized this. I know that my connection might also be doing its best. I'm doing my best to bring you guys some of the young people perspective. That's really what we want to get here. We want to get the perspective of the young people and exactly exactly what is on their mind. That's really what we want to understand, is what is on their mind. There's something playing in the background. You can't hear me at all? I'm hoping that you can hear me. Please let me know that if you can hear me. It stopped now. Well, that's good. That's good that it stopped. Happy that you can hear me now. It might have been some of the music or something that sometimes they have playing, but always keep me updated with whether or not you can hear me in the chat. I'd appreciate that. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think. But we have so many things that we're going to cover here tonight. So many people to talk to. What are your guys' thoughts on what's going on with the election? Did you get out and vote today? Did you get your little sticker? You got your little sticker on? I hope you all have your little sticker. It's a beautiful night here on Liberty University's campus. We can see here, we got, share this tab. Here we go. We got this tab. We can see Trump has already gotten, at least according to the Daily Wire, 32 electoral college votes. If we want to compare this right now a little bit to my map that I have my map. This is the one I made. This is my prediction. What are your guys' predictions? What do you guys think about all of these different states? What do you guys think about everybody? Do you guys think Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania are swing states? Are they going to go Trump? Are they going to go Trump or are they going to go Harris? Of course, that is the question on everybody's mind, especially Pennsylvania being a top state. Do not worry. We have even students here that are from different states that we're going to have talk to us a little bit later as well. They're getting some of their food. They're getting their food. They're getting their drinks. They're getting settled in here because we got a good, fun night here at Liberty University at the election night gala. Don't worry, guys. We got a lot we're going to cover here. Of course, like I mentioned, President Biden will not be attending Kamala's election night watch party. What a snub on her. Even Biden doesn't want to be there. Even Biden doesn't want to be at her election night watch party. Who would? Who would want to be at her election night watch party when we have all these fun people around here having a great time? Having a great time, dressed very well, young people that seem to actually be civically engaged in everything that they're doing. And civically engaged in voting and here to have a good time. Let's see what some of the comments are saying. Of course, it was some Christian radio sounding thing, which was just fine. Well, I'm sorry about that. I hope that you can hear me now. Getting out of breath here. Everybody, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends. It has been a long day here in Virginia. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes you got a busy day and you're just hoping to make it to the end of it. That's how I It was mute. My apologies. It must have happened when I was moving my mic around. Don't worry. I am still here, everybody. We are looking here at what is going on in Pennsylvania. Voting machine issues in Red Pennsylvania County result in a 2-hour extension. 10 p.m. now in Pennsylvania, so it'll be even later until we get some of our results in Pennsylvania. 2 hours past the 8 p.m. deadline. Voters in at least one Republican county in Pennsylvania, the most crucial swing state this election cycle. When Daily Wire says that too, they're not embellishing. Pennsylvania, this election truly could come down to Pennsylvania. What is going to happen in Pennsylvania? It's truly what we will figure out. Hopefully tonight, but it'll be even later than expected. Cambria County east of Pittsburgh experienced issues with the machines that scanned ballots Tuesday morning, election officials said. The Cambria County Board of Election learned early this morning that a software malfunction in the county's electric voting system has prevented voters from scanning their ballots. Cambria County Solicitor Ron Rapak said in a statement, according to the New York Post. This should not discourage voters from voting at their precincts. And this is the other thing too. If you're watching this right now, it's probably not you. But if you know anybody that is out voting, if you know anybody, their polls have not closed yet, make sure that they stay in line, because the longer that we can make sure, or the longer that it takes for us to get any of these voting or any of our election results, the worse off we are. So stay in line. Let's get our votes in, and then get those votes counted. Because if we have days, if not even weeks, before we get results from states, that's a problem. Because who is going to be able to find votes during that time? I can tell you it's not the Republicans that do that. It's not Trump that would do that. It looks like I might be getting an assistant sometime here soon to bring me around so we can take a look at what is going on around here at the Liberty University Turning Point USA Election Night Gala. It's beautiful. I have a voice from a video drowning me out. I don't know if it's on my end because I don't have any videos playing right now. It does not sound like my computer currently has any videos going, but maybe. Maybe it's on the other end. Are you here to help me? Oh, I have a new buddy. So you're not gonna be a photographer. Come in here. We'll get you in the camera right here. Okay. So this is my buddy. What's your name?
My name's Worth.
We got Worth here, everybody. So Worth is gonna help me out. We're gonna get this set up on my phone to where I'm gonna be able to, because Worth is gonna help me out. He's going to be able to get us. So we're going around the event and everything, and then we can go and say hi to some people, and then we'll get the election map back up here soon. Hopefully the mics will be a little bit better. And it won't be drowning me out or anything like that. Do not worry, everybody. We are out here. We're going to have a good time. Let's change my camera here. Back dual wide. There we go. I'm getting everything set up on the fly. This is what happens when everything's live here at Liberty University. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Got the camera. Let's get the audio. Make sure that this check. There we go. Here's what's going to happen. So you're actually be able to see the back end too. This is pretty cool. Nobody else sees this. But we're going to do this. Okay. So see this, everybody. So there's Worth. There's Worth. We're going to put this like that. Here we go. Okay, Worth. I'm going to have you do it like that, okay?
All right.
So you'll be able to see and just follow me around, okay? And keep it on me. Everybody, I hope you can hear me out here. We're out here at the Liberty University Turning Point USA Gala. We're going to go and say hi to some people. We're going to see how everybody's doing. We're going to see what they think is going to happen this election night. And make sure you guys stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share with your friends. Guys, can I talk to you guys for a sec?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. What are your guys' names?
I'm Connor.
Connor?
Max.
Max. Connor and Max, everybody. We're live right now. I'm speechless with Phares. I'm Phares. Nice to meet you guys. So obviously, you probably voted for Trump. Yeah, did you? Can you guys tell me what was on your mind when it came to this? What were you guys thinking going into that voting booth? Why did you cast your vote for Gala?
Go. I think the biggest issue for me is and I think that you know, he likes. It's not perfect, but I think that keeping it in the states, which I think is the best way to keep it as much happening.
So a lot of people out there, and I'm sure there are people that would say, "Oh my gosh, you're a young man. Why is abortion top of everything? So why is that really what put you out there?"
Well, I believe that life is created by God, created in His image, and I every day of conception is meaning from that love, and I
Absolutely. Do you have any idea what drove you to the polls today for Donald Trump?
For me, it was the economy. I think seeing where my money goes. I'm a college student. I'm in debt for money, so I'm a big fan of tariffs. I actually lean slightly American, so only free economy. Uh, but I don't know, it's just going to follow Donald Trump. Obviously, Donald Trump's policies with the economy are leaning towards what I look for. And I just would like to see my
So it's interesting. I think you guys mentioned Kamala in your presentation. I think that's interesting. A lot of times you ask Kamala supporters, you see it on the internet, you see it everywhere, that Kamala, they'll say, well, the reason I voted Kamala is because they don't like Trump. What is it about Kamala that might have driven you away from it?
I don't think she's very well put together on stage. I think she dodges a lot of questions. One of the reasons that I'm a big fan is taking minutes speaking. I think he explains very well, and I think Kamala is working to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it scares me that she doesn't talk about what she believes. And I don't know if it's that she doesn't know what she believes, which is scary. But she does know what she believes, and she doesn't want other people to know about it, which is scary. And I honestly think we're in a place where, to make this stuff happening in Russia and that, we need someone who can speak and meet with them and get things done. And I don't trust it to be in a room with dictators and making good decisions and talking and I think they have respect for you.
Absolutely. I would agree with that. I think that was really well said. Not said, it was better said than Kamala ever. Thank you guys so much. I have a lot of fun tonight. And go Trump.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing I love about coming to the community. I didn't come here for my undergrad. Many of you guys might know. As a law student, but when I was in my undergrad, I went to a state school. When going to a state school, I did not have this kind of conservative Christian support. And so to have such a beautiful thing, pan over, and take a look at all the people that are here, to support Donald Trump. Not even just Trump, there might be Kamala supporters here, but here to engage politically and civically in a way that we're not even hating on the other side. We're not here saying you can't support Kamala or that you're evil because you do. We're saying this is what we believe and here's why we believe it. And I want to know why some other people, what was on their mind when you went out to vote. And it sounds like I'm losing that video. Very well might be because I am. And I don't necessarily have those. What people are thinking about tonight and what they might be expecting to see. I know a lot of people are in line to get food. I want to see so I just want to so here's what if I can okay, so it seems like we had a pretty good consensus in this year. Can I ask why? A lot of times we don't know. So the other side, why are you guys divided that narrative?
I don't like that. I like it. And I just like I oh, yeah, this is I really like hearing that. Okay, but she was great. Obviously, there's a lot of work she's doing on the other side. I didn't know that. It's a good I yeah, so everything's been for service. You don't know that's I think that's much better than she is getting in and saying nothing. God bless America. Great to talk to you. And I think it's really having somebody that's willing to say, I don't know. Because somebody who's willing to say, I don't know, is better than most Kamala supporters. Kamala supporters will sit there and try to lie out their butt till the end of time. You know, when people are willing to come out and say, I don't know, that says a lot more intelligence than Kamala has ever. 4 minutes until some of the program starts. I know there will be some different stuff here tonight. Tuesday, Assassination University Election Night Gala. Everybody, make sure in the comments right now you guys are thanking Worth. Worth is walking around right now and he's helping me out. That's my little corner. They put baby in the corner tonight. They always say, no, you can never put baby in the corner. The baby's in the corner. University, everybody. Liberty University. USA, Liberty University. Yep. Can I ask some questions? Yes, sir. Okay, so we're live right now. This is Speechless with Phares. You probably never heard of it. You should subscribe just like everybody else who's watching. So it looks like you're wearing a red shirt. I am. Yeah, so I'm willing to vote today. I've lived in North Carolina about a week ago. Okay, are you a resident of North Carolina? I am. Okay, that's good. That's not voting for me. Just making sure. Yeah. Okay, so you voted in North Carolina. Do you consider yourself pretty well versed in politics? Somewhat. I have a roommate. He has a podcast. He's a lot more well versed than I am. I listen to podcasts kind of here and there, but not super well versed. But I can see a lot of what's going on, a lot of the paradigms that's changing. So what is going on? So there is kind of a war. There's a cultural war that's going on right now, against between sort of more conservative and more progressive values, and we're seeing kind of. Sorry, is this live? Yeah, it's live. Awesome. We're seeing a lot more kind of traditional family values, traditional Christianity, and more progressive values such as abortion, such as a lot of censorship of free speech, and I disagree with that. Okay. So you see a lot of young people is obviously kind of relevant. There's a lot of young people out there that don't necessarily see it from the Christian worldview. If I can ask, and you said something else, say I don't know the question. The answer is perfectly fine. What do you think is the best pitch to somebody who might be secular or even just atheist as to why they even embrace the Christian faith? Why would you embrace Christianity? Because it provides so much of a volunteer existence. It takes a lot of faith to believe in a God that we don't see, but it takes even more faith to believe that we're time, chance, and that we're all fine. We just happen, and all of this beautiful creation that we see is from time and chance. The odds of that are so much less. In God, of course, there's a ton of different religions. Judaism, Christianity is there's a lot of people who have some right answers, right? They believe in a creator, but I believe that the Christian faith ties up those ends in the best way. Archaeological evidence, a lot of historical evidence that point to as well. And just living out the Christian faith is like the most fulfilling thing I've ever done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody, we will actually be getting to a program. Let's take a look over here at the program that we're going to be having.
We are so glad that you are here and that we get to spend this historic night together. Before we begin, I would like to thank a few people who made this happen. First, our faculty advisor, Mr. Tony Cothran. Next, our Turning Point USA field representative, Hurriyet Taj, wherever she is. We'd also like to thank Kelsey McCormick for coming, as she is the Tar Heel Territory representative for Turning Point. Go! Thank you to all of our volunteers and, of course, to all of you for coming. I'd like to recognize our board really quick. So first, our president, Peggy Stutzman. Our vice president, Preston Wright. Director of Public Relations, Silas Pearson.
Let's go, Silas!
Treasurer, Kyle McCollum. And Secretary, Grace Stoner. And I'm Kennedy Wetzel, and I am the events director. So thank you all for making this night possible. I will now hand it over to our president, Peggy.
Hey, you guys. I know everybody's questioning the room. How's the shortest guy the president of Turning Point? Yeah. Like, I'm the shortest guy I can, right? Yep, yeah, I am. So thank you guys for coming out tonight. You guys have been like absolutely awesome. We have over 400 RSVPs. That doesn't mean people, that's just 400 RSVPs to this night's event. Yeah. So you guys made it huge. So give yourselves a round of applause. Awesome.
Year of the crowd.
So a little backstory on Turning Point. So last year we were at 175 members. We didn't really do that many events. Who all came out to the Brandon Tatum event? Anybody? Okay, we got a few people. Cool. I think we maybe got 100 people there. This year, this board, honestly, these guys are rock stars. Our first presidential debate had over 270 people at it. That was awesome. We just kept doing event after event, and just everybody was showing up. And then this event actually is probably the largest Turning Point event in the country right now. So that's awesome. Yeah. Thank you guys for coming out. We have grown this chapter like immensely over the last 6 months. I think we're now what, 650 members. We are the largest in the nation, so that's awesome. But we want to keep doing great things for you guys. We want you guys to come out to our events. We want you guys to have fun, dress up. You guys look great tonight, by the way. So you guys have just been awesome. I think I'm going to hand over to Silas Pearson, our
We're going to get back.
public relations director.
Get back over to the table. Cover some what's going on at the roles. Obviously, some crowds. College at the Turning Point USA Liberty University election night gala.
To be able to see this on the
Election, so we're going to get back to our little corner.
Thank you.
It's so packed.
I'm sorry, that's speaking.
Let's try one of those cupcakes.
So, we need to update.
I like it big.
And we hope that
I don't know if my mic was working or if it wasn't working. Just bring it back here. Everybody, say hi to everybody when we get back in here. Here we go. Worth, everybody, thank Worth for helping out. I do see that maybe some of my my microphone was not working at one point. It's fine. Worth, I will, here's what we're going to do. Worth, I'm going to have you text yourself from my phone. Everybody, you can see this is how people do things in the real world. Text yourself from my phone. Can you be my, maybe assistant kind of for a little bit? Yeah, I got you. Thank you. Worth is going to help me out because it's not easy doing this show all alone sometimes. Huh? Thank you. That's fine. Can you just grab me a water? Thank you. Worth's going to grab me a water. Of course, my throat can't always handle it, but we're going to get... Thank you.
We need to let them see how many Patriots are in the room tonight.
I don't know if I hope you guys can hear me on this microphone pretty well. That'd be great. Let me know what you guys think. If you can hear me, if you can't, everything like that. Let's do this. We're gonna share this tab. Here we go. Add to the stage right here. We can take a look right now as to what is going on in the country. Obviously, we have some other states that are now called. We have Missouri, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia. Huge support, obviously, out there for Turning Point USA here at Liberty University. They must have heard that Speechless with Kev was over here in the corner talking with some amazing people on this live stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, all of that fun stuff. I'd appreciate it. No, it's all good. I appreciate it, Worth. Everybody, once again, he's not in frame, but Worth brought me a water, which was much needed. I'll text you if I need anything. Go have a good time. Like, get a cupcake or something. Okay. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Oh. Okay, I'm happy you can hear me now. Again, sorry for any connection issues. I'm trying to bring you guys. Here's what happens, okay? So I'm going to angle this down a little. Okay. Oh, I got some security over here. Mr. Security Man, you want to come into frame here? So we got Mr. Security Man. Get on this side of me. Get on this side of me. I'm doing all right. No, this side of me. Just like over here. There we go. How are we doing? Mr. Security Man. Back up a little bit. You can see it where you are in that camera or in that screen. So this is my security man, one of them. Very intimidating. Get a little bit closer to the mic here. Tell everybody, who do you think is going to win this race and why?
I feel as if Trump is going to win this race. I feel as if he will secure the popular vote. I see that Kamala is attempting to make menial attempts to appeal to the black community by inviting urban figures at her rallies. But I don't think it's going to fall well. I think it's going to fall flat on its face.
Think it's going to fall flat on its face. Okay, tell everybody, look into the camera, and tell Kamala she's fired in your best way. Say, Kamala, you're fired.
Kamala, you're fired.
You're fired. You're fired, Kamala. We're looking at some of this stuff over here. Thank you, my buddy. Tell everybody, what's your name?
My name is Samuel Johnson.
Samuel L. Jackson?
Samuel Johnson.
Samuel Johnson. I knew it was Sam. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate you. And Sam's protecting us, keeping us all good and safe here at Turning Point USA, Liberty University, having a great time here. Oh, I'm just getting warmed up here. We got a long night ahead of us. We're going to have a great time. Got my MAGA hat friend right there. He's saying hello. We're looking at some of these races here. Let's go take a look. I'm going to reset this right here. I'm going to reload the site. Enter. We're going to reload the map. It's the map. You guys ever seen Dora the Explorer? It's the map. It's the map. It's the map. It's map time. We're going to take a look and a listen to the map right here. We're looking here at the map. We see Michigan starting to report. Their polls just coming in about 15 minutes ago, starting. Obviously looking very strong for Harris, but of course at that first, that onset is going to be a lot more of, like your mail-in voters, your early voters, everything like that. And that's who we're going to see comes in early. So just 2% of the vote in, obviously for Kamala in Michigan. That's not inspiring confidence to me. However, at the same time, it's 2% of the vote. We got a long time to go. It's going to be a great time here. And we got Connecticut, even less than 1% of the vote. But starting off for Trump, we can see a lot of states have already been called for Trump. We got Florida, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, Indiana, Oklahoma, Texas showing a very strong for Trump. The reason why some of these are also important is because not only will it go for Trump, we also need to make sure that we take back the Senate, get a good majority into the Senate, and also take a majority into the House. And so the more we win for Trump, the better, because that usually will indicate that we're also doing well in our state and Senate houses. And we're going to take a look and a listen. I see, hold on. What am I holding on for, Raven? And everybody, make sure you guys are smashing the like button, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think. Comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate all of your guys' support. As I was saying earlier, we're trying new things here. That's why I took you out into the crowd. And yeah, maybe the audio isn't always the best. Maybe the video isn't always the best. But the only way I can make it better is if I try it at least once. And don't worry, everybody. We're trying a lot of new things here on Speechless. We're only growing. Just like Donald Trump says, the best is yet to come. We are only getting better here on Speechless. So everybody, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Because we're going to get better here. And we're only going up. We're only getting better. We're only going up. I'm pulling up everything that I can, taking a look. Let's maybe see. So far, things are looking pretty good. Georgia even looking early on, 43% in. 43% in Georgia. And Donald Trump is up by 200,000 votes at 43%. That's a really promising start. It is not where we need to be, though. We need to be much higher for Donald Trump. I'm surprised. I know it's just about 1%, but I am surprised that Donald Trump is even taking that lead early on in Connecticut. Donald Trump already at 105 electoral votes, according to the Daily Wire. Kamala Harris only at 31. Looks like we're getting a dump of more votes in here. Pennsylvania early on. Again, there are red counties in Pennsylvania that have been, due to voting machine errors, I can actually bring it back up on screen. Due to voting machine errors, there are instances in which election officials have filed an emergency request to extend voting to 10 p.m. in some areas of Pennsylvania. If you are in areas such as Cambria County, east of Pittsburgh, they're giving an extension of voting to 10 p.m. because there are issues with their voting machines. Insane. Issues with their voting machines is not very promising for Trump voters, because we all know what happens when there's issues with voting machines, especially in places like Pennsylvania. Everybody, don't forget to comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the election as we are sitting here at Turning Point USA's Election Night Gala at Liberty University. Illinois early voting, less than 1% in. Illinois is already for Trump. It's not going to be for Trump, but it's really kind of cute to think that it could be. 33% of the vote in right now in Virginia. And I really do think that Virginia could go for Donald Trump. We're going to see whether or not it does. But we're going to take a look here. We're going to see. I think Virginia really could. We even look a little bit deeper. Come here. We're going to bring in a friend here. All right, let's get close to the mic. What's your name?
My name's Colin.
Colin?
Yep.
So you say we're going to win Virginia. We got the map up on screen right here. Here's what I'm going to do.
When are they counting the Lynchburg votes? Because I was working the polls in there.
So you were working the polls today in Lynchburg?
On campus, yeah.
Okay, tell me a little bit about what that's like here at Liberty University working the polls.
It was a lot of work. Okay, it was hectic. I was actually sworn in last minute. So I came in whenever they were swamped and just volunteered to help. But overall, the turnout was insane. It was insane. There was a lot of same-day registration. So I don't think those are going to get counted until the next 2 or 3 days. But I know it had to be near 1,000 or maybe a little bit less than 1,000 same-day registration voters on campus. And that may not seem like a lot, but over the course of the next 2 or 3 days, as that shifts through, if the margins are tight, that can flip everything. So what we see tonight may not be what is going to happen in the next 2 or 3 days. And when you accumulate that through all the counties through Virginia, I think that can make a big change.
Absolutely.
Particularly in the rural areas. So I don't know. I don't know.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you working the polls. I appreciate get your tie in there. Make sure everybody can see that tie. Look at that tie. What a fashionable tie.
We have a great tie.
It's a beautiful tie. It's a beautiful tie. I love the tie. Honestly, never seen such an amazing tie. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate it. And I appreciate your public service. We got another buddy in here.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
So this is the president of College Republicans at Liberty University, right?
Yeah, guilty.
Okay, introduce yourself to everybody. Where are you from? And what's your name?
My name's Matthew. I'm the chair of College Republicans here at Liberty University. Just as our boy Kevin here said. Yeah, I'm from Florida. I'm a junior here right now.
What are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in like IR, international relations, studying politics and policy. So, a lot of writing, a lot of papers. So good stuff, fun stuff. Is that our camera right there?
That's our camera in the ring light.
How's it going? But yeah, so today was a crazy day. We just got back from getting a bunch of our guys over, helping with the polls were like swamped today. We only had like 4 poll workers here at the Mountain View Ballroom, which is where our polling station is. We were super understaffed, so we got some of our guys to go out and help out wherever they could. Some of the Republicans in the city, they mobilized some of their poll workers, some of the people who were certified. We got them over here, and then we got the lines moving and everything. But it was a crazy day. We had a lot of people who, without question, were able to stand up and help out wherever was needed. So, yeah, a lot of great stuff going on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. What kind of work are we doing here at Liberty to make sure that that we secure not only this election, but that we can also keep Virginia and expand the conservative and Republican movement nationwide?
Absolutely. So the big thing that we've been doing is we've been, it's going crazy out here right now. The big thing that we've been doing over the past couple of weeks was door knocking low propensity voters with like the Trump Force 47 people. So like the actual Trump campaign. Our buddies over at UVA helped us spearhead a lot of that. And, big shout out to Blake Boudreau, our guy over there, who really gave us a lot of help with that, getting us connected and such. But that was our big thing. And it was great because we got to talk to a lot of these low propensity voters, people who were had voted Republican in the past but hadn't voted in a while. And basically just it wasn't a matter of changing minds. It was more of a matter of just being like, hey, this is important. You need to go out and vote for this. And, a lot of people, they were disillusioned with Trump, which is wish that weren't the case, but encouraging these people to still go out and vote in these local races, which do matter very much. Like we held a debate last Monday between our city council guys.
Yeah, I heard about that. Tell me a little bit about what that was like. What were they talking about for a city council race?
Yeah, so the big thing, they talked a lot about just their own values and everything, but they talked about their history. Dr. Coleman, he's the Democrat running. His history on the school board got brought up. And then Lynchburg public schools aren't exactly the greatest, so he had to contend with that. Homelessness was something that they talked about. In terms of policy stuff, Deemer's big thing, he's the Republican who's running. His big thing is he just wanted to do anything to lower the local taxes he could. He didn't get super specific on what he wanted to do. I know on his website he's talked a bit more about it. But the debate, we tried to gear a lot of the questions because we took a lot of audience questions. Yeah. I kept trying to gear the conversation more towards policy because that's I'm gonna kneel, so I'm not doing this. I tried to gear the conversation more towards policy the best I could, but it ended up just kind of becoming I don't know how to describe it. It kind of just became a values argument, a values judgment type thing. We had a lot of one thing that did come up, and I'm glad this got brought up. But Dr. Coleman, he's a pastor of a church here in Lynchburg. The Democrat is running, and he's personally pro-life, but he said that he wouldn't do anything to. He doesn't believe the government has a right to tell women what to do with their body, which is okay, functionally then at a as a city council member, and if you were to seek fitness, so you'd not be pro-life, you'd be pro-choice. So So that was a big thing that we talked about. We tried to press him on that. There's a lot of kind of sidestepping, so just trying to drill people in, get them to actually answer the hard questions is a little difficult. The energy was crazy though. We had a few people get a little aggressive with us. Me and Jesse and other members of our board. They were hounding us, oh, go back and make him answer this question. I was like, dude, get out of here.
I got you.
Yeah.
And I love that we're doing that here on the ground at Lynchburg. I want to talk a little bit about the map too. So I have this map up here, of course. It might cut us out a little bit, but I want to talk about what we got going here. So Georgia was one that was really kind of a toss-up. We have 48% of the vote in right now, and we're seeing it's going much more for Trump. This is really a toss-up considering the fact back in 2020, Trump literally told people not to vote, and it seemed to really piss off a lot of people.
Yeah, that was stupid.
And so what are we thinking is going to happen? 48% of the vote in, seeming Trump 300,000 votes. What do you think is going to happen in this?
I think he's going to take Georgia this time around. Excuse me. It's going to be, I don't know, a lot of these states are going to be very close. I think that I don't have any doubt in my mind that Georgia's going to go red.
Yeah.
Virginia, though, is going to be very close. I know my buddies.
Obviously we're in Virginia right now. We just had Colin who came up and talked to us about how he was working the polls in Lynchburg. You were at the polls in Lynchburg.
Yeah, I was there with Colin and everything. It was insane. It was absolute pandemonium.
Yeah. We're looking. It seems like some of the biggest areas that are going for Harris are up in like the DMV area.
Yeah.
Obviously in the Virginia side of it.
Yeah.
Really going strong for Harris. Then you get into like the Richmond and then even down towards the southern part of the state, northern North Carolina. But most of the state seems to be pretty red. Do you think where do you think we might turn out enough? Not just Lynchburg. Do you think there are other places that could really carry the state to bring Trump into more of that margin of error?
So I'm fairly confident these rural areas here that we're still waiting for the votes to come in for are going to go red. I mean, that's just like kind of the pattern that we've seen in the past here, especially up in the middle right here.
Yep.
I'm pretty confident those are going to. Let me get a point here. Excuse me, I just like chugged a Sprite. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm fairly confident these areas are going to go red. Again, we won't know for sure till these results come in. Let me actually look at this right here. Oh, that was close. Okay. Yep. That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, man. That's crazy. But a lot of these college campuses turned out, so it's just a matter of trying to get as many people here from Liberty out as possible. Yeah. And I don't know. I'm going to be honest, man. I feel pretty confident that we're if we don't flip Virginia, we're going to get very, very close. Some of my guys, buddies from the Trump campaign, were saying he was only down 2 points.
Okay.
I don't know if that still is true, but I don't know. It looks promising.
Let's hope he's not down at all. Maybe he's up 2 points now.
Let's hope so.
Who knows? Well, I'll let you get back out there, man. I appreciate all the work you do, and I appreciate you coming on. If there's any other insight you want to provide later, just come on back, man. You're always welcome.
Absolutely. All right. See you guys.
Thank you.
God bless.
Appreciate you. We got a really active community here on campus of politicos here at Liberty University. And I really love it because, as I mentioned before, I don't know if you guys could hear me when I was out into the crowd, is that I came from a university, Illinois State University, where finding people that were politically active but also politically knowledgeable was not easy. It was not easy. And I had some great people in my Turning Point chapter there, and they were politically knowledgeable, politically active, and even willing to learn. We have a lot of people willing to learn here. And that's the thing, is you need people that are willing to learn, people willing to say, I don't know, or I don't know something, or why is that? People who ask more questions. I ask questions all the time. I know nothing. The only thing I know is I know nothing. And if you can tell me who said that, you get a cookie. And if you say it was me, then you're funny, because I did say that. We have people that are upstage on talking right now. We got obviously a very, very full room right now, very crowded, a lot of people in here. Maybe we'll get some more people to talk to us. Let me know what you guys are thinking about everything and the entire election in the comments. Be in the comments. We'll keep going through. Let's go back to the national map to take a look at maybe what else could be coming in. We got more we're going to cover here, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Please make sure that you guys are liking this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends.
Thank you, Admiral Kaufman. Thank you for speaking in tonight. Just a quick update for you guys.
Got an update. So that update that we just got says Trump took the lead in Virginia. I'm trying to see that on my map. My map does not reflect that. My map does not reflect that Trump took Virginia. But I don't know what he knows that I don't. I don't see it yet, though. So it's a fun announcement to hear, but frankly, it's not what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing that Trump currently took Virginia. Let's see if maybe another source. I don't know what his source would be.
Which I think this rule specifically, we are going to not change the rule, but we'll change the country. We can change the state of Virginia if we wanted to.
Let's go check out. Maybe if I go to the Associated Press, I like using the Daily Wire. I think they're the best, but I want to double check. Let's go back to this election hub. Here we go. Make sure that's still up there for everybody. Associated Press election results. Donald Trump has officially won Florida, which we already knew. I'm waiting to see when we might hear about this increase in Virginia. Where are you guys watching from, everybody? Let me know in the comments. Where are you guys watching from? Did you get out and vote recently? Trump is up in Virginia, according to Hippie. Hippie, I appreciate you telling me that. It's not reflecting on mine, but I hope it does soon. I sure do hope it does. It reflects soon. It would make me very happy. But it's not at 40% in. That's not what I'm seeing. I'd love to see if you guys wouldn't mind sending me or telling me where it would be that he's currently up in Virginia. I just got a text about it too. I'm not seeing it though. Up by 5,000. Where are you guys seeing this? What source are you using? Because mine is not telling me that. I will have Peyton, who is the president of College Republicans, at some point. I'm sorry, of Turning Point USA here. At some point, I will have him on. I see David from Arizona is here. I want to bring on David. David, you'll be able to let me know if you can actually hear me, because I know that my audio might not be the best. But we're going to bring on David. David, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, David, you are live here with me. I'm out here in Lynchburg, Virginia, at Liberty University. We are at the Turning Point USA Election Night Gala. You're from Arizona, right? So I can bring this. Obviously, polling is not closed yet in Arizona, but you're obviously a Trump voter. If we take a look, I can even bring up on here. Give me one moment. I produce my own show. I know this is a little problematic, but here we go. Real quick, we can take a look here. Obviously, my map, I did not have. This is my prediction map. I did not have Donald Trump winning it. You seem to know something that I don't. You texted me earlier today after I posted my map on my social media, and you said, I know something you don't. I know something you don't. Tell me what you know, David. Tell me what you know.
It's simply hearsay, right? But I'm here in sunny, beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona, and I tell you, the energy is Trump. Trump. There's a 10-to-1 ratio of yard signs, bumper stickers. I see guys in pickup trucks with the flags off the back. People are talking about it. I drive all over this valley for work, all over this valley. And I got to tell you, it is consistent in the city, in the suburbs, in the rural areas. I see Trump signs. I talk to my customers. They're talking Trump. I can't even count on one hand the amount of Kamala Harris voters I know of. I know people that are voting for the first time here, going for Trump. And that's all I got to say. I know Maricopa County, absolutely critical. And we've been hit hard in the last few years. Housing is up 40%. Groceries, likewise. Gas and transportation, about 50%. The median housing cost has gone up from, I believe, $260,000 to $500,000 in this valley in the last 3 years alone. People are getting crushed here. You can say whatever you want about these other issues. People of Arizona, pretty libertarian, they're pretty moderate, and I think that they're going to go for Trump just for the economy. You heard them. You heard them where the wallet is. Can't put bread on the table. That's where people vote. I say he's going by 5 points here.
Wow. Okay, so one thing that I was worried about when it came to Arizona, and I texted you this, I think, is that Kari Lake is not currently the governor. A lot of people, Kari Lake is really hit or miss at best. Kari Lake motivates a lot of people that were already going to vote for Trump anyways. Now she's on their Senate ticket. She lost their governorship. She's running for another race that requires a statewide vote. What's different this time around?
I simply think that Trump is on the ballot this time. In the midterms, we saw Republicans across the country get hurt. Trump came out for him. He joined their rallies. He endorsed them, but it wasn't enough. I think that the motivation for, him being on the ballot and people voting down the ballot, I mean, to be fair to Carrie Lake, I like Carrie Lake. I've been to her rallies. She's a great woman. But again, Arizona is very moderate. And unfortunately, the moderate choice in 2022 was Katie Hobbs. And I think that Carrie Lake spooked the people here in Arizona. And since Trump wasn't on the ballot, there wasn't enough of the base that came out and voted down the ticket. I think that Carrie Lake's going to do a lot better this time around for the Senate race, simply because Trump is on that ballot. I can't say she's going to take it, unfortunately. I know the polling's looking pretty slim for her. I don't see many signs. People aren't really talking about her. But I think anybody who's going for Trump is going to vote Republican down the ticket. And at that point, it's a turnout game. So that's kind of why I disagreed with your take that, you gave Arizona blue. I think that it's different than the midterms. I'm not sure if we can compare the midterms to an election with Trump on the ballot.
No, I get that. And I know I'm covering your face right now. I will move that in here, but I want to show the map. Here we go. Let's bring it more into the middle here. I want to show the map. This was my prediction map. So obviously you brought in and said Arizona blue. What do you think about the rest of it? So you have your perspective on Arizona. Maybe I could change it red. This is a still shot, so I can't change it right on this one.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Obviously, so we can even compare it right now. I know I have to go and figure out the Associated Press one, but and my people in my comments are showing me that. But I have the Daily Wire one open here right now when it decides to load. And we can compare and we can see what's actually going on. So Georgia is currently 52% in with 300,000 votes for Trump. Well, it's obviously 1.5 mil, but 300,000 votes above what Kamala has for Trump. We got some other swing states starting to come in, like Michigan with only 6% in, and Pennsylvania with 10% in, both for Kamala. What do you think about these swing states? Do you think there's any other potential upsets? What are your thoughts on the thoughts and feelings of the rest of the country?
Yeah, so that's why I appreciate your optimism as far as the Great Lakes states. I'm from Illinois too. I went to Illinois State University, and I know Wisconsin pretty well. I know Michigan pretty well. I can't see Michigan going. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just a gut feeling. I think Wisconsin's more likely. Don't know too much about Pennsylvania, but I hope the Cole people will bring it for us. But, that's the thing. He needs one of them. And, I'm pretty optimistic about Georgia. North Carolina does scare me, though. A lot of people moving down there from New York. And I hope they're kind of like me. I moved from Illinois, came to Arizona for a reason, right? A lot of people from California are moving to Arizona for a good reason, too. And, some of them are still voting like they did in California to destroy that state. But I do know a lot of people are pissed off with what happened in California. They come in here. They don't want a CARAZ. And I hope the same case is in North Carolina. But, a lot of New Yorkers heading down there. We'll see. Pennsylvania, that's one of those things. It's a toss up, of course, but it's all going to come down to that, really. What's your take on Michigan and Wisconsin? Why are you optimistic?
So Michigan and Wisconsin, if we go back to my prediction here, Wisconsin, I really thought, because if you look at 2022, Ron Johnson won their Senate race, and he was the Republican, and then they were obviously split. Their governorship went to a Democrat. But I see that optimism from their own people, being that they don't necessarily want the Illinois craziness. They're just north of Chicago, and they see the craziness that can happen when you elect a lot of Democrats. And so while they have a governor that's a moderate Democrat in Wisconsin, they obviously see at the federal level Republican solutions working better, and that's why they elected Ron Johnson in 2022. In Michigan, I really could have flipped a coin on that. Same with Pennsylvania. I was basically a coin flip away because they're both within the margin of error, +1 one way or the other. And so Michigan, the way that I really saw it, what leaned me just that 51.0001 or 50.001%. The reason that I went red on that is because Donald Trump made it a kind of a staple recently to talk a lot about auto manufacturing, and that being something that has both boomed Michigan and Detroit, as well as broken them with the fact that we've gone so much on foreign countries, and Donald Trump looking to try to make tariffs much bigger to bring back manufacturing, including auto manufacturing, back to the states. I think that would really benefit Michigan, and I hope that maybe some of their voters would see that. So that's where my optimism comes.
Yeah, that's a fair take. And I know, Dearborn is not going to go out for Kamala this time around. Not to say that they're going to come out for Trump, but I think that might hurt her enough where maybe Trump can take those auto workers, like you're saying, and maybe make something work out of it. What about Georgia? Are you going kind of with the midterm results out of there too? Is that where you're getting at?
I think that there is still not only midterm results, but I think there's still some level of animosity from 2020 when Donald Trump went down there and basically lost a lot of Republicans' elections. And I think that's honestly, there's a lot of reasons to not necessarily like Trump. I think a lot of them are stupid and unfounded based on lies the media tell. That's one where if you're a Georgian that doesn't like Trump because of 2020, I kind of get it. He did some really stupid things out of anger in that election that really screwed over Georgia and thus screwed over some of our politicians in the House and the Senate, and our ability to maintain control there. So that's why I think Georgia, I was even on my live stream that I did last night where I talked about my prediction. I flipped a coin practically for Georgia, but it just leaned me a little bit more to Kamala in some of the disdain for, because even Brian Kemp was their governor, was pretty anti-Trump for a little while until he became the nominee again. So
Georgia, that was a tough one for Trump. He definitely he caused some ruckus down there. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Just again, gut feeling, coin flip basically. I'm hoping for Georgia. I'm hoping for North Carolina and Pennsylvania. And then with Arizona, we've got it, and it's in the bag. I see. Did you change Nevada? I thought you had Nevada blue earlier.
I did not. This is the same thing I had. Nevada was one where I was a little bit back and forth, but Nevada's, and I got to be honest, my reasoning for Nevada is I got a buddy, Josh Bender, who lives in Nevada
Josh.
now. You know Josh. Josh. Yeah, and I think he might be coming on later to talk a little bit about Nevada. And so I asked him. I didn't know which way Nevada. I thought it really could have gone coin flip. But it does seem to be, from everything I saw in 2022, they seemed very, very open and more kind to Republicans than other states would be, than other swing states even would be.
Sure.
And so I really saw it as a potential Republican. And Josh kind of told me that's the way he was feeling about it too. And so I think he's going to come on and justify that opinion for me later.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that. And another thing too is, again, I think people vote where their pockets are, right? And I think that Vegas was hurt especially bad during COVID, and it's still recovering. I mean, I was in Las Vegas, about a year ago, and still it was nasty. Prices are record high, unemployment. It's just kind of, the crime's kind of taken over, especially the Strip and the areas around it. And I'm sure Josh can testify to that too. So I think that that's one of those states that's just been hurt so bad in the last few years, ever since, we lost Trump and the election and COVID and all that. And I think that, again, people are going to vote for the bread on the table.
I think you're absolutely right on that, David. David, any last words, any last feelings of hope? What is your opinion? Actually, here's something I want to ask. First off, what got you out voting for Trump in the first place? You're in Illinois and you're in Arizona. What got you out voting for Trump?
Yeah, so I'll tell you. I've been for Trump since 2015. I was there in Chicago when that rally turned into a riot. And I was not a Trump supporter at the time. I liked, obviously, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, those kind of guys. And I looked at this Trump guy like, he's that, New York guy who was on the TV show or whatever. But I was at this rally with some friends, and the way that these rioters treated me as a 15-year-old and my friends, 11-year-old brother, throwing rocks, throwing bottles at us. They called it a bomb threat to shut down this arena. It made me think, I go, if these people hate him so much, and they seem to hate me, maybe I should do a little digging into this guy. I really liked his America First policies. I liked his foreign policies. I liked ending the wars. I liked, lower regulations, kind of the anarcho-capitalist side of things. And I've been following him since 2015, and I, proudly voted in 16 and 20. I've been to 3 or 4 rallies, and I've been ride or die for Trump, even back when it was losing friends, and it was hard to defend him all these years. But I'm really hoping to see him win this time around because he deserves it.
Absolutely. And so I agree with all that. I've seen a lot of that, obviously, at Illinois State. That I was fairly involved there in trying to at least get people open to the idea of conservatism and republicanism. And sometimes it seemed a bit futile. But I want to know, not only what brought you to Trump, but what is pushing you away from Kamala? What do you think pushes a lot of people away from Kamala?
You know, you say Kamala, but again, it's the party because, you know, she stole it from Biden. Let's be real. But, you know, he probably wasn't even the one in charge for the last few years. And, you know, we don't know who's necessarily pulling the strings on that side. But the party as a whole has completely lost its mind. And then the scary thing about it is, like, you know, I'm obviously a conservative, but I do find myself, you know, a little bit more libertarian. And I probably would have been voting a Democrat in the 60s and 70s. And it's just been like they've pushed the Overton window so far that it's dragged people like me and my friends to almost the middle. And it's just like things like, you know, obviously a big one for me and a big one for a lot of people here in Arizona. And another reason why I'm so optimistic about the state is gun rights. I mean, an assault weapons ban like we saw in Illinois. I mean, Arizona is a very, very, very gun-friendly state. And I can't see people going along with that. That's a scary one. Obviously, the border czar, whatever the heck that means. I mean, she spent more time on the beach than she did down here in Arizona. That's for sure. And that's another one. And obviously, just I don't think she knows what she's doing. I mean, I see a businessman. I see a guy who knows tax policy. He knows regulation. He knows coding. He knows how things work. He's put thousands of people to work. You know, he's built an empire. And she has, you know, what has she done? You know, she's been a politician her entire life. And I just don't see the party. The party has shocked me with where they've gone in the last 5, let alone 10 years. And I don't see myself ever being dragged towards that side. And we'll see. I mean, I don't think other people are either.
No, I agree. I definitely think that a lot of people are starting to wake up, and that's what we even see here. And if you look at the map, I got this one up now, where we see Virginia is currently leading a little bit for Trump, just by about 11,000 votes. It looks like that 11, 12,000. We got Pennsylvania, which is coming in hot for Harris off the bat, but that's only 12% reporting. If we look at Virginia, Virginia's got 43% in. We go down to Georgia, another big swing state, up for Trump by about 300,000 votes. Wow, 55% there too. It's really looking. Only 7% in Michigan, really way too close to call, but 40,000 up for Kamala there. Same with Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is definitely coming in hot, but 12. Illinois has basically been called for Kamala. Yeah, I could have called that. That's 12% reporting, and it's already called for. That's insane. But that's president. We should really look, I think, at some of maybe these Senate races too. When you look at places like, I really want to know what's going on in Virginia for our Senate race. Doesn't look like we have that one up here on the side. Also, I don't know if you can hear, but they're doing the Boots with the Fur song in the background.
Hey, go dance.
No, not me. Not tonight.
Yeah. Not tonight.
I gotta see what happens first before.
Only if we
this
win.
Is really interesting to me. I noticed Ted Cruz, it seemed like, might have been struggling a little bit in Texas, being from Arizona where you are. Did you hear at all about Ted Cruz's Senate race?
I haven't been following too closely. No,
that's one where I was thinking. I started getting texts about Ted Cruz's Senate race, asking me for money. So, and I thought that was,
man.
I know. Man. I was like, that kind of made me a little nervous about that. Not many House races currently. We have to go a little bit further down. We start looking for House races here. Obviously, Republicans currently hold a fairly slim majority. Let's really hope that we can take that back and really, really try to squeeze out a strong Republican majority in both the House and the Senate this time around. Arizona, obviously, we're waiting a bit to see what
polls close in 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yep. 10 minutes.
It is going to take some time to count it all and stuff. But in your honest opinion, are we going to find out tonight?
Oh, my honest opinion. I wish I could tell you 100% that I know whether or not we're going to find out tonight. I think it really depends on if it depends on how we see some of these swing states and even others swing. I think we'll figure out, like Virginia. I think we'll know Virginia's results tonight at some point. If we know Virginia and if we know that it's an upset, I think we have a better chance of knowing tonight. Because if we're able to upset in a place like Virginia, then states that are swing, that we're nearing Trump, that we're leaning Trump, are much more likely to go. And while obviously Virginia is not is not directly correlated to the outcome of Arizona, it gives you a good indication as to how people are thinking. Also, it'll give you a good indication is if you know what's going on in Virginia, you'll have a better idea of what's going on in North Carolina. They're right by each other. A lot of people are very similar. And a lot of the people that are moving out of liberal places like New York are coming down not only to North Carolina, but hey, maybe they're getting a little tired on their journey down and they're stopping off in Virginia and voting for Trump. So
yeah.
I'm not 100% confident. We'll find out tonight. And obviously there will be a swath of litigation from whoever is coming off at the lower end of the slate. But I think we'll have a good idea. I think we'll have a good idea by the time we lay our heads down tonight. But that might not necessarily be until early into the wee hours of tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and God forbid it's a repeat of last time, where we went to bed thinking one thing, woke up with another. I mean, knock on wood, we avoid that at all costs. But that's part of the reason I know that finding out tonight was part of the reason I went and voted early. A lot of people I know went and voted early and in person because Maricopa County is going to take a while to count. And again, like if it's an upset, we can kind of call it early in the night. That's a domino effect across the country.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Well, David, I'm going to get to a few different news stories and probably try to talk to some people at the event here in Lynchburg, Virginia. But I want to give you obviously one chance to, if there's anything you would like to shout out, anybody that you want, or anything that you'd want to say, if you have a podcast or anything else yourself.
I'm just a civilian now, but
you say you have clients in Arizona. What do you do? Do you want to maybe solicit some clients in Arizona?
Yeah. So we provide hot tub services, repair, cleaning, sales, all that stuff, transportation. We're across the Phoenix Valley, and we're heading out north into northern Arizona soon, and hopefully to a city near you. So if you know anybody in Arizona that has a hot tub or wants one, call Phares Spa Service Group. But hey, Kev, it was great talking to you. Keep up the good work there at Turning Point, and everybody, go Trump and God bless America.
Thank you, David, for joining. David from Arizona, hot tub man. For all your hot tub services, go to David from Arizona. Thank you so much, David. David, that was really great to have somebody on who knows what's going on the ground there. Just like I have been talking to people. Obviously, I'm living in Virginia now, but I've had people on from Virginia, and that were working the polls today. Being able to see exactly what is going on the ground is so super duper important. And yes, I did just say super duper. While I try to be as professional as I can on this show, I'm also going to let you know I am just a man. And we're taking a look here at at the map and what's going on here. We're going to also probably get some other people that are out in the crowd and talk to them. I know that we will probably have Peyton Stutzman, who is the son of somebody who is running for office, I believe, as well as he's the president of Turning Point USA here at Liberty University. I'll shoot him a text, make sure he comes over here sometime soon. Let's go. I'll text him right now. There we go. We got early starting to come in from Missouri. We got early voting starting to come in from Missouri, 6% reporting with an early lead for Kamala Harris, but it's only about 16,000 votes at 6%, not much. We got Kansas, 28% reporting, seeming to go a lot for Kamala. Let's see exactly how the Daily Wire election hub is doing. This is the one I'm really interested in because I know the Daily Wire is really trying to up their game in a lot of what they do. And so we got a prediction from the Ravens saying Trump will win bigly. I really like that prediction. I'd love to know what makes you think that. What do you think? Anybody else who's watching right now, let me know in the comments. What do you think? Other states being called. In fact, according to the Daily Wire actually has Virginia called for Kamala, but it's really close. And so I'm kind of actually a little bit mad at the Daily Wire for calling this that early. Only 48% in, and they're calling it. And also Donald Trump is currently up, and they haven't called for Harris. What the heck is that? That's insane. I think it's too early to call. We got Donald Trump up just barely, though. I mean, it's only about a percentage point. Let's see exactly. If we look here, and that only has 1 million in. We could go back to the Associated Press one that we get here. We got Virginia for Trump, and it's much stronger with about
about 1%, as the Daily Wire one only has about has 0.3% of a lead, and they've already called it for Kamala. What the heck is that about? That's insane. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Virginia is going Donald Trump this time. 20,000, we got 45% in, and 20,000 extra votes for Donald Trump there. I'm really hoping it goes for Trump. I really think that it could. We got some other states starting to come in here. Maine starting to come in, 1% reporting. Maine is an interesting one given the fact that it's not all or nothing for one candidate. Maine, you can have different votes. It's the same thing that happens over in Nebraska, and it's one way that if Wobble just came on. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Everybody, don't forget, if you're watching right now, no matter where you're watching from, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends. I am live streaming right now from the Turning Point USA Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, election night gala. Having a lot of fun here watching all these people on the other side dance. Why don't we'll turn the camera around and let you guys get a look at this. At Liberty University here in Lynchburg, Virginia. I am adjusting my mic. That is another reason why I'm allowing you to be entertained by the other side of the table. Just behind the scenes info for everybody. Let's bring the camera back here now. Out here at Liberty University. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you guys are just tuning in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share with your friends. Hopefully you can all hear me. For anybody who's out there watching right now and knows me personally and might have my phone number, if you're watching and you can let me know exactly what's going on, if my mic is working and if you can hear me, and if you can hear me okay, please let me know. And also let me know in the comments. Smash that like button, everybody. Let's get the Ravens comment back up here because I want to address this. I don't know, Kev. I feel like a lot of the woke society is actually waking up and opening their eyes. They're removing their heads from the anatomically peculiar position. Oh, I know exactly what you're saying. Yes, I know exactly what you're saying. And I do believe that a lot of people are waking up. But then you see Illinois. That's actually, can we click into it? Will it let me? Yeah, we can click in. And you have these collar counties. You have Cook and these collar counties of this state, which are going, I'll zoom in. Here we go. You have Cook in these collar counties that are going clearly for Kamala, and that's the reason why they're able to call it so early, is it's so clear because of the vast population. And while many do seem to be starting to wake up, it's radical to me that it's not as widespread as we would hope. So I'm taking a look at obviously everything here. I'm trying to see. I thought the Daily Wire would be the best one tonight, but they have already called Virginia for Kamala Harris, and I'm not going to stand for that. It seems a lot closer than that for me to call, and I'm not liking that they tried to say that. But We got Virginia. You can see it's crazy. You can come over here. Virginia's currently going, obviously. You can look here. It's going for Trump, but then you go over to the Daily Wire one here. I'll even show everybody on the screen. They've called Virginia with a lower vote count and also Kamala not winning right now. They have it going for Kamala. They've called it. Daily Wire has called Virginia for Kamala, which is just an insane thought to me because you go back to the Associated Press here and you can see that Donald Trump is up. There's more votes in, and he's up by 20,000-ish votes, 25,000 votes.
I mean, are we really trusting the Daily Wire as the authority on this? I don't feel like have we done that before? I don't feel like it.
I don't know. I would think that they would give Trump the benefit of the doubt as much as possible. That's why I would.
They got more votes here than on the AP, though, right?
AP has more votes than Daily Wire.
I got to go up there and speak in like 10 minutes. So
I got you. Shout out the podcast when you get up there.
Yeah, no, I will. Good. No, but I got to study up real quick.
Absolutely. We can take a look.
They're playing theme.
Have they called Michigan? Michigan only has about 9% reporting according to this one. Let's go reset. We have some hip hop playing in the background now. I know I'm very white, and it's not just the lighting. I'm very white in general. Just call me Casper, except for I'm not friendly. People asking me if I need water. I'm good. But I might need more soon. A lot being called for Trump right now. Let's go back to this one. Oh, man, we got votes pouring in for Trump. The crowd is going wild. The crowd is going wild for Trump. Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota's starting to come in a little bit. Colorado being called. According to Fox News, Colorado will soon be called for, especially as we get to the top of the hour. We're going to start getting a lot of results in right here, right now. We're getting states coming in. New Mexico is going to start coming in. We're going to start getting more and more votes coming in here. Man, this is really exciting. What an exciting election night here. Louisiana being called for Trump. More and more and more states being called for Trump as votes just start pouring in as more and more polls begin to close. North Dakota being called for Trump. South Dakota, Nebraska, Wyoming called for Trump. Iowa, early 1% of the vote in, coming in for Trump significantly already. We got a lot we can talk about here now as we get more and more. Wisconsin Senate race. I really want to know what's starting to come through in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a state I've been waiting for. I'd really like to see some level of vote counts come in, but it looks like we're not really getting anything yet. Results are expected soon, and this is a key race that we're obviously following. Raven seems to think New Mexico will go blue. I don't necessarily doubt it, but maybe it could happen. Let's zoom back out. Show all states. I think we're going to have the president of Turning Point USA here. Obviously, we took a look at what's going on out there. Let's get Peyton Stutzman over here. You want to grab a chair? We'll get a chair pulled up here. And here's what we're going to do. When Peyton comes on over in here, update the layout. Okay. So let's get Peyton on over in here. Peyton, everybody, if you've been watching my live streams for a little bit, you might know Peyton is the president of Turning Point USA here at Liberty University.
What's going on, guys?
And So it's really loud in here right now. We got a lot of people having fun.
A little bit.
We're just getting a lot of results just starting to pour in as we just hit the 9 o'clock hour on the East Coast, 8 o'clock hour, polls closing. And basically west of us here as we're in Virginia right now. I want to take a look right now. Obviously, it's been called for Trump for a while, but we can take a look at Indiana right here. I believe your father was running for Congress.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he won.
Hands down. Hands down, he's already won, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, congratulations, everybody. Congratulations to Marlon Stutzman of Indiana, who has won. He was in Congress from
the 3rd District. So he's from the 3rd District. He was running against the reason he won, and I give this a huge thank you to his opponent. Her last name was Adolf. So it was kind of either you take Stutzman or Adolf. Which one do you want? And it really was. It was a fight to the end, but in the end, I believe we won it over by 65%.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome
Thank you.
That's awesome to hear. We're starting to get more and more states in. But I want to talk about this event. I want to talk.
Sorry.
It's all good. He's got ladies coming in talking to him. I want to talk to him about the event that we got going on here. I want to talk about some of these, what's going on in these states and everything, but I want to talk about this event.
Yeah.
So we have the largest Turning Point chapter in America.
We do.
Here tonight, don't we?
We do.
Okay. Tell me about what it took to get this event on.
Oh, man. So I took the chapter over back in July of this year, and it was just me and another guy, Preston Bright. He's great. And we decided we're not going to run things the way that we were running things. We're not going to not hold chapter meetings. We're not going to hold – we're going to make this fun. We're going to make this something that people actually want to go to, you know? Yeah. So we got on Instagram and just started just hounding it. It was like, hey, join Turning Point USA. It's going to be a fun time. We put on parties just like this. We put on election night debate parties. We put on so many different parties this year. I know it's not the Liberty way to say, but we are kind of the frat of Turning Point, basically. So since Liberty can't have frats, we're basically the acting frat, I guess. But no, we just really try to make it seem fun. We try to make it seem enjoyable, and like music, like you're hearing like right now. We don't want people to be engaged. We want people to actually have a good time. We don't want people to be bored listening to everybody's returns coming in, like their predictions and all that. Like we want people to actually have fun and like actually enjoy politics, because there is an aspect of it that politics is fun. Now you may get tired of it after a while, and that's okay. I get tired of it. I've been tired of it. After this, I'd like to take a very long vacation, honestly. Yep. But you know what? I have a test on Thursday, so that's not going to happen. But no, we really just did a huge social media campaign. We reached out to people that we knew did have influence in the school. We asked them to be on the board. We had people that were in Student Government Association. We asked them to be on the board. We asked people that knew people. Yeah. And it's just like networking and connecting with other people. And
so
it's
about how many people would you say are here tonight for election night?
So we hit over 400 RSVPs. That does not mean 400 people. It was actually a lot of groups of people, and I'd say we probably hit around 450, 460 people.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We're starting to see more and more results starting to come in. Virginia, still, it's interesting, actually. I was showing people earlier, the Daily Wire has called the Virginia for Kamala,
really?
Interestingly. But the Associated Press over here has more votes in and still shows a razor-thin margin between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, that margin being just about 30,000 votes and less than 0.5%. So Virginia being something that was clear for Kamala in the polls there was not really a point where anybody said Virginia was a swing state.
Right. Yeah.
Why do you think Virginia, the state we're currently in, why do you think it seems to be much more contentious than people initially expected?
Liberty, 100%. Liberty, this year, we have pushed the election so hard. College Republicans have pushed the election so hard. We have pushed that this election is probably one of the most important elections in our lifetime. Because we don't support candidates, we support values at Turning Point. We just told people, vote for your values, vote for your Christian conservative values. And people voted with their hearts. We had over 7,000 students vote today at LU. That is more than last cycle, where we had 3,000 registered voters and only 400 voted. Only 400 voted last cycle. This cycle, we had over 7,000 people vote on campus. So I would give a huge thank you to Liberty. Turning Point, we have been pushing this. We've been pushing door knocking. We've been pushing phone banking. We've been pushing basically anything campaign related. We've been pushing that. Even though we can't support a candidate, we can support, hey, if you want to push your values more, you can do this. You can do door knocking. You can go phone banking. You can just support it on social media. Take 10 friends and go vote. And then a huge factor of why I think Virginia is flipping is if you have the 9th, the 6th, and the 5th district, and you have a deep red vote that day, you're going to beat Fairfax. You're going to beat Nova. You're going to beat Richmond. You're going to beat all those counties that typically go blue or very deep blue.
Yeah.
Fairfax actually today had the record low voter turnout in Fairfax County, one of the most deepest blue counties in the entire country.
Yeah.
Because all the people that work in DC are typically from Fairfax. So
we can even zoom in so we can show people a little bit more about exactly what you're talking about. It'll take a second just because I'm running like 20 things on this computer right now. But why don't you actually take the map? Let's talk about exactly what we're talking about.
So that little blue mark right there where your mouse is on, that's Charlottesville.
Okay.
Charlottesville, we're getting an update from Matt Vintner, the president of College Republicans. Lynchburg is not even counted yet. That's Campbell County right there.
Yeah. Lynchburg is right here?
Yep, that's
wow.
Lynchburg. And then these.
I want to hear.
Yeah, go for it.
I think he might be giving me a shout out. That's why I want to listen.
Very optimistic. Before I get an update here, I want to give a big thanks to everybody from College Republicans, Turning Point, whatever you guys are a part of, coming out here and helping us in the polls today. Whether you were one of the last minute helpers who came out when the poll workers restriction in, helping those guys out. We're one of the dudes out there helping campaign for city council guys, making sure that Liberty states are voting down ballot Republican. Shout out to you guys. That was awesome. And Lynchburg hasn't been red. In 2020, we didn't go red. It was blue. So what we did here today was, it was something special. It's
crazy, though, that Lynchburg has not been called yet.
Lynchburg hasn't been counted at all.
Well, you look at these other counties, too.
Okay, so I have some updates here.
4th district over here. And then
guess how many? I want you guys to guess
6th district actually includes that small gray one.
Yeah. Not that many. He's up by it's 51.9 to 47.1. So he's winning.
Show all states. Let's get back here.
If he hits over 50% reporting, I believe that he's going to win Virginia.
If we get to 50%, but we don't have anything from Lynchburg yet.
No. Which Lynchburg, honestly, we just closed the polls at 8 o'clock, and they started calling Virginia right then and there. And a lot of it was we had a lot of students show up today. So
we're at 50% reporting, and Donald Trump is up by 0.3% of the vote.
If he can hold on to that, I believe he will win.
Let's see if we have anything from. We still don't have anything from Lynchburg.
I know Lynchburg will go red for sure. We just need those 2 counties, though.
Yep. It'll be interesting once we start getting the West Coast, and we can start seeing if Arizona or Nevada hit anything.
Also, shout out to my brother. He's been the DJ for tonight. He's only 18 years old.
Oh, good for him.
Been awesome.
Good for him.
But he is. I really do need to learn from him on my music taste for sure.
We got a lot going on here at this event. I'm really happy that we have such a very supportive school.
Oh yeah.
I want just briefly. Can you talk about what it means to be here at Liberty University versus any other university nationwide?
Oh, absolutely. So Liberty has a lot of influence in the entire country, including the world. Liberty has kind of always been known to be a more to the right school or supporting Christian conservative values. And our founder, Jerry Falwell, was actually responsible for the moral majority in 1984. Yep. And I can proudly say that Liberty University is proud for the rural majority in 2024. And just being at Liberty and just being the influence that we are, we want to keep that tradition alive. We don't want it to die. We want to keep that tradition alive that we are actually involved in politics. We're involved in government. I mean, you go up to D.C. today, you meet any Republican staffer, he most likely went to Liberty. And actually, we have several people on our staff that graduated from Liberty with a political science degree. They've been great staffers.
Yeah.
And anybody that, if you mention Liberty University up in D.C., it is a very respected school just because of our Washington Fellowship, just because of all the things that we do in D.C. still, which we'd love to continue to do. One thing I would love to do for Turning Point is get internships in DC specifically for Turning Point members. That's one thing I would love to do.
That'd be awesome.
And that way you have that connection between Turning Point and DC.
So we're making political waves in DC from Lynchburg through Turning Point.
We are, yeah. So this chapter was started in 2019. And you had the Falkirk Center, which was Jerry Falwell Jr. and Charlie Kirk. They kind of meshed
now
together.
The Freedom Center, right?
It is, yeah.
And so just about, was it like 2 weeks ago, they held an event here, right?
No, it was actually the Mountview Ballroom.
Okay, but at Liberty. So the Freedom Center held an event here with a lot of different conservative speakers, right?
I believe it was smaller than this venue.
Really?
But
Tell everybody, because I got people that are watching.
Yeah.
They don't know what Montview is. They don't know any of that.
Yeah.
Tell them a little bit about what the Freedom Center, what was it called, and what happened there.
So originally, it was called the Falkirk Center. Jerry Falwell Jr. and Charlie Kirk got together. They wanted to create the center of like a think tank almost.
Yeah.
They wanted to they wanted to just push Christian conservative values on social media. Well, Jerry Falwell Jr. Had his fall from grace, and it was just awful. And Charlie Kirk he didn't really come back since. So what we've been kind of given the task to do is bring up Charlie Kirk's legacy at Liberty University. So it was just absolutely mind-boggling to me that our chapter back in July only had 175 members, but now we're over 650, which is amazing. So just kind of going off of that legacy, we want to keep on Charlie's legacy. We want to keep on the legacy that Turning Point has built here this year, and we want to continue just being the beacon of light for Christian conservatives across the country.
Yeah, and so we had like Michael Knowles and Allie Beth Stuckey and everybody come to talk.
We had Michael Knowles, we had Allie Beth Stuckey, Nick Freitas. He's a Commonwealth delegate for Virginia. We had several other speakers. Isabel Brown, she also spoke. They just called Ohio 54%.
Those cheers that you are hearing in the background are about 400 to 500 students cheering that Ohio has been called for Trump as we have the Fox News live stream on the big screen. And that's what you're hearing. New Mexico is going red is another little bit. And we see that kind of reflected here. New Mexico at 7% reporting has about 7,000 votes extra for Trump.
You know, another thing I would also credit Trump at doing is getting the early vote out. The early vote has been helping him a lot.
Let's talk about how that changed from 2020 to today, early and mail-in voting.
Yeah.
In 2020, we heard a lot about how mail-in voting was the devil, how you shouldn't do it, how your ballot's not going to matter.
Yep.
And this time, we seem to mobilize a lot more in the mail-in votes.
Yeah.
Talk about why we did that, how we did that.
So instead of promoting mail-in ballots, because I'm still a skeptic of I'm still a skeptic of mail-in ballots, honestly. And personally, I like early voting better because it gives us early returns better. It kind of allows you to do voting on your schedule, which is really, really nice. So it really, I would personally push for early voting. And honestly, I wish we got the day off for Election Day. Honestly, I really wish we did. But a lot of companies don't. The government doesn't. It doesn't recognize it as a national holiday. I wish we did. It would be great. I think we would get a lot of same-day voters. So that's kind of like my thoughts on that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I see we're getting more people, some new people that are joining.
Fantastic.
He asks if this is a joke. No, I'm just in the middle of the rave talking about the election. I'm happy you think it's entertaining.
You can tell 450 people here that it's a joke. You can go for it.
I don't care. Just subscribe to the channel.
I'm having a good time, honestly.
I don't know. It is kind of funny because there's basically a rave going on over there, and I'm here talking about politics.
Yeah.
So everybody, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. But I did see a comment earlier too that said that VA was being called for Harris. I don't know where you're seeing that yet. I'm remaining hopeful. not to mention I'm remaining hopeful because by all available metrics that I have, Donald Trump is up, barely, but he's up, and we still have major, we have 50% reporting, he's up, and we still have some major red areas that aren't necessarily.
That county just went red.
So we got a lot.
What's up, guys? Crashing the stream.
This is Jesse Hughes.
Jesse
That
Hughes.
was Jesse Hughes, my bad.
What we got going on in Virginia?
Some
We just
people
need
think
Lynchburg
that
and
it's
Campbell
going
County
to-
to come in right now.
Lynchburg and Campbell still haven't come in.
Nope.
All right. It'll be interesting to see. I'm excited to see the numbers out at Liberty. I was on the ground at Liberty earlier today. I watched students pour in. We had hundreds of students when I was there. I've heard there were thousands of students that cast their ballot. For context, only 2,000 students cast a ballot in the 2020 election on campus at Liberty.
Wow.
We are on pace to at least double that, if not more.
What would you say it was about 8,000 students?
I would say that's probably a pretty good estimate. If Virginia is close and if Trump continues this lead, Liberty could play a substantial role in that. I truly believe.
One thing that's surprising me is he's winning Wisconsin and Minnesota right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not even see
It's
Minnesota.
1% reporting. I'm willing to bet it's red counties.
Yep, it is. Yep, it is.
Calm down.
What about Wisconsin?
Wisconsin, 4%. And we're not getting Milwaukee yet, though, or Green Bay.
See, if they can, the reason they held.
I think Wisconsin could go Trump. But
the reason they held the RNC convention in Milwaukee was because they absolutely needed Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And honestly, the welcome we got with Milwaukee, amazing.
Yeah.
I was there over the RNC convention, and honestly, the welcomes we got there, it was unlike any other. It was just Patriots all over the place, and it was just absolutely fantastic. Now I do believe Michigan will go blue though.
I want to hear your thought. Okay, you said you think Michigan's going to go blue. Kevin, which state do you think is more likely to flip? Pennsylvania or Michigan?
I think Michigan's more likely to flip than Pennsylvania, and
Really?
I've talked about it on the stream earlier with somebody else. The reason I think so is because Donald Trump has made it a cornerstone of his campaign to talk about auto manufacturing and placing tariffs on the auto manufacturers who we bailed out in 2008. We bailed out these auto manufacturers, and now they all go overseas to manufacture, screwing places like Detroit, Michigan, and other areas of Michigan that were so crucial to that their economies relied on auto manufacturing. And Donald Trump comes out and he says it's going to be a bloodbath if we let Joe Biden or Kamala Harris stay in office. And they tried to make it a big thing, saying, "Oh, he said it's going to be a bloodbath." It's going to be a bloodbath for United States auto manufacturing and for Michigan if we continue to let these companies go overseas for their manufacturing. And so here's what's going to happen. Michigan's going to flip red because of auto manufacturing.
And another factor to that too, they held CLS, the People's Convention recently from Turning Point. They held it in Detroit. They had over, I believe it was 10,000 people.
Yep.
Like well over 10,000 people.
Yep.
But Trump spoke there. He has been holding rallies in Michigan. I'll give it to him. He has been just a force to be reckoned with in Michigan. He's been awesome. But I'm not sure. The main reason I am still hesitant on Michigan is the Detroit rally with Kamala and when she brought Eminem out to endorse
But did
her.
you watch Eminem?
Yeah.
It wouldn't take you long. It was like a minute and a half, and all he did was basically get up there and say, "I like free speech," and
right.
here's Obama.
Right.
And then Obama comes out and does a really bad version of "Lose Yourself."
There seems to be a common trend with Kamala Harris rallies where they bring out these big performers who just straight up disappoint the crowd and don't even perform. Look at Beyonce. Look at Eminem.
Sounds like a Liberty convocation, honestly.
Well, well, I don't know. You want to know the difference between a Kamala Harris rally and a Liberty convocation? Liberty convocation doesn't bring pedophiles and P. Diddy friends.
True.
You're right.
True.
All right. I'm going to go back to my stream. I'm streaming Jesse Hughes' show. Obviously, stick with Kev. He's doing a great job. But if you guys want to tune in at some point, I'm the Jesse Hughes Show on YouTube and Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Jesse Hughes NC. I'm streaming as well. Hopefully I get this guy on my stream soon.
Well, but the other thing is, do check out his Twitter, because that's where I got the footage earlier of the Liberty polls that we have here. Yep. So do go definitely, and his YouTube too, Jesse Hughes.
Like I said, polls are massive at Liberty. The turnout was massive. I'm hoping to see. I can't wait to see the numbers on that. Thank you guys. Y'all did good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Peyton, I know you have entertaining to do. You're the president of this chapter. You've done a lot to get out here. I want you, because you're not going to be the president of this chapter forever.
No.
And so I want to, and this is going to be buried in a several-hour stream, but I want you to say a message to your future self, because what I will say is this is a pretty high moment. I don't want it to be the peak of your presidency.
Right, yeah.
But this is a pretty high moment.
Oh, yeah.
For you. So give yourself a reminder. Give yourself a thought to remember later on of what current Peyton is thinking. What are you grateful for? What are your thoughts? And what would you want future Peyton to remember from this moment?
Well, obviously, Kev, I'm grateful for my board. My board has been just my rock, honestly, this year. The board we have this year is unlike any other Turning Point chapter in the nation. Like, as soon as we get something from Turning Point that they want us to do, we get on it like that, and we have it done the next day. And I don't think you'll ever find another board like this one. This board has been absolutely amazing. From our secretary to our treasurer to our events coordinator, Kennedy, to our PR director, to even our vice president, Preston. He has been, like, they all have been just rock solid people to work with, and I'm so grateful for them. Some advice I'd give myself was Cruz just took the lead. That's good. That's good.
Texas has just announced that Ted Cruz has won their Senate race. Phenomenal.
But a piece of advice I would probably give myself is it's actually advice that I heard from Matthew McConaughey. Is like, who's your hero in life? And he would always say, good. But he would always say, my hero is me 5 years from now. Like, you would always think of yourself 5 years from now, like how successful you'll be, how successful. And then 5 years would happen, you'd say, well, who's your hero now that it's been 5 years? Well, I said, well, it's me 5 years from now.
Yep.
And obviously just striving to be better, striving to grow this chapter, striving to leave it in good hands, and I know we're going to leave it in. I graduate, I believe, not next semester, but the next one. So I'll be done then, and hopefully having my sights on law school, coming to join you guys. But I really just wanted to just look for somebody and look for people that are just passionate about people. Like, I love talking to people. I love sitting down in interviews. I love going around here just getting in the middle of the dance floor. I haven't done that yet, thankfully. But you don't want to see my dance moves. I'm terrible. But no, I just really want to say to, like, people out there that are thinking about getting involved in politics, getting involved in the politisphere, getting involved in influencing as far as political icons go, do it. I mean, your mind can be as big as your imagination. You're only limited to your imagination. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. This is one of my favorite songs. So.
Yep. No, I get
Katy Perry just gets me in the soul. But no, I really think that people just need to have a driving force behind them. And ultimately, I thank God. I thank God every day that I get to lead this chapter. I get to put on events like this. And next semester, I can't tell you what we're planning right now, but I can tell you it's going to be pretty big as well. That event will probably be one of the biggest events besides this one.
Heck yeah.
So,
heck yeah. Well,
pleasure.
Thank you, Peyton. And we will obviously be staying updated with what's going on here with Turning Point USA at Liberty University. And thank you, man. Thank you for all the help.
Subscribe to Speechless with Kev already if you haven't, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, yes. Definitely, guys, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends, all that fun stuff. We're going to bring this back up as the major up here. I see this comment, too. F those American car companies. They betrayed us. I'm going to I actually own a Toyota. I'll say I drive a RAV4. I love my RAV4. But what I will say, too, is it's not even what I mean is not F those American car companies, as I'm not defending the car companies. I'm saying that the jobs and the livelihoods that were ruined and that have been ruined by American car companies leaving, which is not all the car companies' fault. It's also these Democrat politicians that incentivize people to build overseas and to manufacture overseas. It's screwing average Americans, and it's destroying some American lives. So what I think about when I say why I think Michigan should go red for Trump is because it's screwed over the average American. It has screwed over the average American. I truly believe that. And so we started seeing 9% reporting in Wisconsin, still pro-Trump. Virginia, I still don't know what you're talking about. Trump still holds the lead. I know that somebody said earlier, overregulation absolutely is part of the issue. I know somebody said earlier in the comments, thank you. I didn't take any disrespect. I think Peyton might have taken a little disrespect, but.
So our next speaker was in Butler, Pennsylvania at the Trump rally when someone tried to take President Trump's life. So she is brave enough to come up here and share her.
I'm also listening to what's going on up here.
Please give her respect and attention. Please welcome Shannon Phillips.
Okay, so I know we're also going to have Josh join soon. I know that here at the event they are having a member of the club that was actually in Butler, Pennsylvania. And so I know she's going to be talking. I don't know if you guys can hear her at all. Let me know in the comments if you can hear her. I'm going to try to let you guys hear.
Can we just give a round of applause to Turning Point USA? So some of you may know me, some of you may not. But my name is Shannon Saunders, and I'm a junior here at Liberty studying strategic communications with a minor. You know, if you would have gone back in time and told me last semester that I would be standing before you all at a Turning Point USA event and speaking at it, I would have been so excited because I love public speaking and I love Turning Point. But if you would have told me the main reason that I'm standing before you all and giving this speech was from one of the worst experiences that I've ever been through, I would have been in disbelief. On July 13th at Butler, Pennsylvania, me and my two friends, Olivia and Kaylee, attended our first Trump rally. We woke up bright and early and wanted to be the first to get in line. We were about the first 150 people in line out of the thousands that attended the rally that day. We got in line at 8 a.m. when the gates opened and waited 4 hours before being checked in by the Secret Service. I remember vividly thinking as I am walking through the metal detectors, the Secret Service are here at this event, so it's safe because they looked over everything. From there, we walked to our seats to where the rally was held. When we were picking our seats, there were more people in the area than were in line at the time. So we ended up sitting around 12 rows in front of the podium. In that time frame of choosing our seats, we were debating about switching our seats to the bleachers, maybe to an area behind the podium so we could be on TV, or maybe from the bleachers to get a full side view, but decided that it was getting too crowded and we didn't want to lose our seats. It was one of the hottest days of the summer, and we ended up waiting 10 hours to see Donald Trump. So you can imagine how that ended in the heat as a redhead for me. Leading up to Trump speaking, the environment was incredible. People were excited, patriotic, and anticipating what was to come. We sat in front of the cameras, and on some big news station live streams, you can actually see me doing the YMCA when he takes the stage. It was around 6 p.m. when he finally got up on stage, and the crowd was roaring with excitement as everyone put their phones in the air to take photos or videos of him. From there, exactly 9 minutes was the last normal part of the rally. As Trump started to settle in talking about his policies, he brought out a chart about illegal immigration and displayed it on both sides of the screen. I'll look at his statistics of when he was in office to present day. The numbers really did speak volumes of how well he did when he was in office. As he was speaking about the chart, I hear a gunshot to my left. I immediately see Trump put his hand to the side of his face and go down. My mind within that split second ran 1,000,000 miles per hour. From the crowd's reaction in that split second to him dropping, I knew I was witnessing an assassination attempt. The row I was sitting in fell like a domino, and my friend Olivia fell on top of me. The gunshots continued as I heard intense screaming around me. I was convinced the shooter was in the audience because the gunshot sounded in close proximity to me. As my mind is racing, there are two main thoughts in my head. The first was the realization that I'm in a shooting, and what if this is the day that I die? And the second is what I said over and over again until it was done. Jesus, save me. It crossed my mind if there was more than one shooter in the audience, and that if we were under attack. The shooting lasted close to a minute, but it felt like an eternity on the ground. When the crowd was slowly rising, I peeked over the chairs to look at Trump to see if he was even alive. He was still on the ground, but the Secret Service was all around him, while heavy armed men took the stage and came into the crowd. I thought he was gone for a second or two as the crowd held its breath. I see that the Secret Service is getting Trump up, and I see he looks okay, but I see blood on him, and I knew that there was no way he was going to come back on stage after that. As I tried to escort him off, something happened that I will never forget. He turns to the audience and puts his fist up in the air, and I'm sure you all know the rest, where he says, "Fight, fight, fight." The crowd was already incredible, but that was one of the most powerful reactions I've ever witnessed. There's a lot to be said about a person's character in the moment of a trial or going in the fire. As Donald Trump got shot and was still passionate enough to let the world know that he was still not going to give up on the American people. As he's being escorted off the stage, it was like time stopped. Everything in my head got silent. I looked at my friends in absolute shock, and everyone around me was either crying or shaking. I looked up in the stands and saw great distress among people sitting there. I remember thinking, I'm in a movie right now, this can't be real. I ended up calling my parents on someone else's phone because there was no service and none of my text messages were going through at the absolute worst time. My parents recalled the phone call, feeling similar to 9/11, and were glued to the TV to see if I would even come home that night. The seats that me and my friends were thinking about switching to, as I said earlier, were the exact seats that someone got shot in. I don't think me or my friends would be here today if we changed our seats. I will not go into detail, but because I saw someone's life end, my perspective on life has changed. I remember feeling extremely ill, not at what I saw, but the evil behind it. As I walked back to the car, unable to think straight through all the chaos and the helicopters around, I felt this peace indescribable that can only come from God, that He wanted me to see that event so that I could be more on fire than ever about sharing the gospel. Life can end so quickly and so abruptly. Trump was a quarter of an inch away from meeting Jesus, and for a few seconds, everyone there had that same possibility. We live in a sinful world where shootings, car accidents, natural disasters, and more can take your life away in a second. One of the most important questions you can ask yourself is, do I know where I'm going when I die? You cannot earn your way to heaven, nor do you get to heaven by being a good person. You get to heaven through faith in Jesus Christ alone. Because we live in a sinful world and mankind chose to disobey God, we are now eternally separated from God, and our punishment is hell. We are all sinners in desperate need of a Savior, including Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. But there is hope that saves us from our eternal destination, and that is Jesus, who is the Lord and Savior. Jesus paid our debt on the cross for our sins and rose again from the grave. As John 3:16-17 states, "For God so loved the world, and He gave His one and only Son, and whoever believes in Him shall not perish, but have eternal life. For God did not send His Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through Him." I hope the biggest point you can take away from this speech is that God's love for you is so strong that He thought you were worth dying for. Let His love for you drive you towards Him. You may be sitting here and thinking, I don't know why God would want anything to do with me or what I have done. Well, get in line. It's called grace, and none of us deserve it. There is nothing too far gone from Him. He wants to meet you in your uttermost and pull you out because he loves you. Repent from your sins, flee from worldly desires, and follow Jesus. As Romans 10:9 states, if you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Put your faith and trust into him today. Jesus has already won by conquering death, and he is coming back soon. Because it is election night, I want to end with some encouragement. It can feel easy to get overwhelmed looking at the news and thinking you have little control of who's going to win the election in the dark times we're living in. But God already knows who's going to be elected, and he remains the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Jesus is still on the throne and will be forever. As Christians, our loyalty does not belong to a political party, but to God. Until Jesus returns, it's our job to uphold righteousness for what aligns with God's word, and that can be reflected by who we vote for. Both parties are flawed, but always choose the candidate who aligns the most with biblical principles. If you are for God, then you cannot vote for things that God is against. We will all go before Jesus and give a personal account of our lives to him. In the meantime, if we want to make America great again, share the gospel more with others. Be bold about Jesus and not silent. Love those around you, even if they hate you. Pray for our leaders and country to turn to God. Be a light to others. Read the Bible and pray. Do not live in fear, but live in freedom, knowing Christ has overcome the world, and there is nothing that is going to change that. As Jesus says in John 16:33, I have said these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome. God bless you. God bless America. And turn your eyes to Jesus and have no fear. Thank you.
Let me know how the audio is back on my end. Obviously, I can't hear it right now. I'm going to get my headphones on so I can make sure I hear Josh, as we're going to be bringing on Josh. But obviously, very emotional words from Shannon, who was at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally. It was a beautiful speech that she gave. I think Peyton's getting up. I just want to make sure I hear everything that he says. Yeah, he's talking a little bit more about that, but we're going to get back into the conversation regarding what's actually going on in all of this. Josh is unmuted, I see, which is great. I want to talk to Josh. I brought Josh on. Everybody, you might know Josh Bender if you've been on this show before, because Josh Bender is from a state that is highly contentious this election cycle. We don't really have any numbers from it yet because I don't even know if the polls have closed because I forgot.
No, we still got some time.
Yep. And so if you look at my prediction map right here, I had Nevada going for Trump. I want to know exactly what Josh has to say. And so this is going to be a version of the segment called The Headline versus the Truth. So I don't have a Josh Bender thing on there, which I should probably add one for the next time. But the headline we have this time is that Nevada goes strongly for Trump. I think that the truth might actually align with that, but I don't know for sure because my entire basis for that was kind of a guess. I want to know exactly what Nevada man Josh Bender has to say. Nevada man Josh Bender, please tell me what I should know about Nevada and whether or not you think it's going to go for Trump and why.
Yeah, so I have the same prediction. I think it's going to go Republican. I think it's going to go for Trump. I don't really have much to go on other than I'm looking at polls. It's been pretty close, but he's been pulling ahead recently. When you look at Nevada, there's basically two counties that go blue, and that's Clark County, which is Las Vegas, and then Washoe County, which is Reno and like Carson City. In 2022, Washoe County went Republican for the governor, which led to it being Republican governor. Democrat, so we got a Democrat senator. So I personally think Nevada is going to go Republican. I'm in a very Republican area here in Nevada. We voted like 95% for Trump. Just the differentiation. So I do think Nevada's going to go red. I just a gut punch, kind of what I'm feeling.
Absolutely. Did you go out? When did you vote?
So I early voted. I voted last Monday.
Okay.
Just had some time after work, and it was a little windy, and so I figured the polls would be open. Lo and behold, I was right; they were wide open. I was also in the process of moving. I moved houses, and so I was trying to get in early to make sure I had time to vote before I got hectic and had to move and all that fun stuff. Which is also why my camera setup might be a little different.
It's all good.
I have all my garbage behind me that I need to unpack. So
it's all good. All those Trump voters right behind you, right?
Exactly, all the trash, yeah.
All the garbage, according to Joe Biden. I was seeing there's a lot of people, and I thought it was probably the best one for Halloween. A lot of people were dressing up. It was like they just put on a trash bag and a MAGA hat.
Yeah,
and I thought
we actually had at the polls, because outside of our polling place, there's like Trump tables and there's a Harris table, and there was a guy at the Trump table. He was in a garbage bag and a MAGA hat, and I thought it was really funny. I was like, that's good.
I love it. That's hilarious. Here's actually a story that I was hearing a little bit, and I was talking about it a little bit earlier tonight. Also, you are no longer in screen.
Sorry, I was looking at something.
I got very confused when I looked back, but I wanted to talk about this story a little bit because I talked about it earlier tonight. President Biden won't attend Kamala Harris's election night watch party. This is out of the Daily Wire. President Joe Biden will not attend the watch party. According to a White House statement in which they talked to the Washington Examiner. They said tonight the president and first lady will watch the election results in the White House residence with longtime aides and senior White House staff. Really interesting to hear this. Josh, I want to know your take a little bit on this because obviously Donald Trump has come out and during the one debate between Kamala and Trump, Trump made it clear he was like, Biden hates Kamala. Biden has obviously said a lot of things that make it seem like, I mean, he made the garbage comment, which made Kamala look bad. What do you think about Biden not attending Kamala's watch party? Do you think it's just because he's Sleepy Joe Biden and he needs to get to bed early, or do you think he actually hates Kamala?
I think they're both accurate. I think he is asleep. He goes to bed at 8 o'clock. It's a little late for him right now. It's pretty late for him, but also, I think he truly hates Kamala Harris and wants her to lose. I think he is running on the assumption, and his whole thing over the last couple years has been, I am the only person who could beat Donald Trump. If Kamala Harris loses tonight, he is vindicated, and that is his legacy. The only person who was able to beat Donald Trump. I think when he went to vote, he voted for Trump, or at the very least, he wrote it himself. I think he might have wrote it himself. But he did not vote for Harris. I truly think he wants her to lose, and he doesn't want to be there to celebrate if she does win, but also he doesn't want to be there to kind of, because then he's going to have to gloat. If she loses, like, I told you so. He doesn't want to.
Yep. Absolutely. We got balloons here at this party.
Love it.
I wonder if Joe Biden has balloons in his little bedroom that he's staying in with Jill.
No, but if those pop, he might have a heart attack.
That's true. Yeah. I wanted to talk. So that was an interesting take. I obviously talked about that one earlier. I want to talk about this story because you are an educator. Georgetown University, so obviously a pretty top university in the United States, offers students stressed about the election milk, cookies, and coloring books. This is a real thing, and actually apparently several colleges are doing this. Also out of the Daily Wire, students at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. are being treated like toddlers as they face election day stress. Per a letter obtained by the Free Press, the elite college is offering stressed out students access to so-called self-care suite, the outlet noted, where the young adults could occupy their time with hot cocoa, Legos, mindfulness activities, milk and cookies, coloring, and meditation. This is what they're doing for the McCourt School of Public Policy. In recognition of the stressful time, all McCourt community members are welcome to gather in the third floor commons to take much needed break, joining us for mindfulness activities. Several other colleges have offered students similar amenities to deal with election stress. I've never really heard that term before. Josh, you're a high school teacher in Nevada, a place in which election stress would maybe make sense given that it's a swing state. Yeah. Tell me what you think about college students at an elite university such as Georgetown being offered milk, cookies, and coloring books for election stress. What do you think about that as an educator?
So, I had my students color on Monday, but I had them color the electoral maps, and I said, make a prediction. And I just thought it was a fun Monday activity. So my Monday classes are weird. They're only like 38 minutes. And so I'm like, I don't have time to dig into a lot. So we talked about the electoral map, and that was my chance to see them and say, hey, color your own map. I figured it was more fun to have them actually color. And they enjoyed it. They're high school. High schoolers are just giant kids at heart, and they like to color. So they were having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But To do it to high school or to college students is ridiculous. I mean, my students are stressed. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're definitely worried about a lot, but they don't need like cookies and milk. No, they don't need any of that. They're going to be fine. I gave them all the spiel that look, no matter what happens, we're going to be fine. It's 4 years. This country's going to be okay. And so I think that's just absurd to give that to grown-ups. I mean, that's grown-ups there.
Mm-hmm. What does that say about the future of this country? I mean, what does it say about people that, like, what does that say about the fact that these are eventually, I mean, they're Georgetown University. A lot of times people end up going into government and they work for 3-letter agencies. They work somewhere in government. Georgetown University students being offered milk and cookies to deal with election stress. What the heck? What the heck?
I mean, I just think it shows that we're coddling people too much. I mean, we are coddling our future here. But also, they work in Georgetown. A lot of them are probably more left leaning, you know, and I think we all know that they are crybabies, to the very least. I mean, they're going to cry a lot. And you know, these government agencies, as soon as they start to lose a little bit of funding or they go, and they start crying. I think they're just really preparing for a job in the government. That is the way I see it.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's basically what our government does. I guess it is perfect. I want to take a look back at some of these election results that we're starting to see come up. We got 188 for Trump, according to this. Let's refresh this just to make sure.
I got 191 for Trump on NBC.
What is different?
Looking at that map compared to the, they called Nebraska for him.
Nebraska's called here too.
Or sorry, they didn't. Wait, what did they call that's different? I can't tell.
Maybe they called Maine. Check Maine.
Maine. No,
I'm trying to think what would give him 3 more. I'm really looking here. I don't know exactly what they necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know what maybe.
But if we look here, let's take the AP because this is what I've been using for a lot of tonight. It makes more sense to me. Donald Trump currently has 188 according to this one. We have some places that seem to be pretty big to lose. If he does lose them, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania being the highest, reporting at 35%. But if we see the biggest difference in votes, Wisconsin's real close at less than 10,000. We got 9,000 difference there. We have a difference of 5% in Michigan at 14% reporting, and about 80,000 different, 3-4% in Pennsylvania. What do you think about these 3 key states currently losing for Trump? Do you think they could flip? I don't know exactly what the county by county breakdown is.
Yeah, I mean, so
which one out of these 3? Which one do you think would be the most likely?
I think Pennsylvania was most likely, but I will say I'm seeing a lot of people say Wisconsin, and I do think maybe Wisconsin. I think all of these have. I actually listened to Shapiro talk about this today, and he was saying that he predicts all the bellwether counties going, or all the Rust Belt going to him. I disagree. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be Pennsylvania or Wisconsin. I think what surprised me more, and I think I have to say, Kev, you might be right here, Virginia. Virginia.
Look at that. How long have I been saying Virginia's going for Trump?
Well, I think we even talked about this months ago. I mean, I think we said, why are they counting? I even said, why are they counting out Virginia? I think Virginia's a swing state. Yep. I think if Virginia goes red, he does win all the Rust Belt. There's no way he doesn't. I mean, because Virginia has been historically a trending blue Rust Belt state. And so the fact that if they go red, and he doesn't somehow win Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania.
So having a relationship.
I mean, I don't know how he doesn't win. Also, I think if he wins Virginia and he wins the rest, wins the Sun Belt, I think he wins. Right?
It would be. Let's actually. I'll go to 270. Let's play around with it.
Play around with it.
Let's go 270. I have my old map up. Let me get this one here. Okay, I'll push reset. If we go, share this tab.
We all are aware that
let's go here. Okay, so and this was based on, I think, polling yesterday is what this is currently based on. We can go. Let's go. Right now, Georgia's a little bit red. North Carolina's a little bit red. Let's change Virginia to a little bit red. And let's say everything else remains the same. We got Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin here. Let's say Nevada goes a little bit red. Maine is currently, well, even right there, if he gets Arizona, If he gets Arizona, he keeps Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, he wins it. He walks away with it. He doesn't need Wisconsin.
He could potentially lose. He could potentially lose those 3, but if he takes Virginia, he wins.
If he takes Virginia, and then he also takes Arizona. Arizona right now, if we look at it, obviously nothing. 10 p.m.
They have it leaning red.
5 minutes is when we start getting some of those other ones. Josh, I don't know how much time. I have been at this for 2.5 hours. I have to pee so bad.
Okay, you go. I can talk. So I will actually talk about an interesting thing we did. So, and I'll be talking about this later on another podcast. But at my school, we actually did a mock election where all students could come in and vote. And the AP government teacher led this. I ran a voter registration drive. I got a couple students to come do that because I saw an article from actually NBC that said there's about 8 million eligible seniors in high school that don't vote. And I found that really disappointing. And so I launched a voter registration drive, and I wanted to help my students be able to register. And I got a couple, which is great. But we did a mock election here where every student at the school can come vote. It was including some teachers, staff, things like that. We got the results back, and it was overwhelmingly in support of Trump. We had 65% support of Trump, 25% support for Kamala Harris. Sorry, which I think is insane. And then we also did the Senate and the House. For the Senate, was 44% in favor of Sam Brown versus 36% for Jackie Rosen, I believe. I got to say, I don't think that's going to. I actually don't think Sam Brown's going to win. Personally, from a Nevada standpoint, I don't think he's going to win. He has a pretty good nickname here, Scam Brown, which is held pretty well, and I laugh every time I hear it. I don't think he's going to win. I think he is a bit of a carpetbagger at times, or I think that's kind of the impression that he gives a lot of people potentially. And so I think that's maybe going to be his worry. I could be wrong. I mean, people could like him and over Jackie. I have no idea. That's just the impression I get, is that some people think he's a carpetbagger, and that, which if you don't know is a historical term, meaning he's moving around to get, it was historically used when Republicans were moving from the North to the South right after the Civil War to get positions to, elected positions. They call them carpetbaggers. He's been in Texas, now he's here. So I think there is this idea that he's moving around just trying to get his position. I think Sam Brown's an amazing guy. I think the fact that he, if you haven't seen Sam Brown, he's a very, his face is all burned and scarred. It's because he actually had an IED blow up on him when he was in the military. So the fact that he's able to come back from that and then run for the Senate, one of the most prestigious positions in this country, I think is shocking and amazing, and really is heroic as a whole. And so I love that he even did it. I just unfortunately don't think he's going to win. Early indicators, I will say, I think we're going to take the Senate, which is great. Republicans need the Senate. House, I'm 50-50 on. But I think at least if we have the Senate, then, for at least 2 years, Kamala Harris is a sitting duck, or a lame duck, as I should say, has to work with Republicans because they control the Senate, and there's not, there's going to be that problem. So that is a good check overall. I'm really curious to see how this election plays out. I feel good. I feel better than I did earlier, but I don't know. I mean, and even looking at the popular vote, Trump's winning with 36 million votes. Obviously, it's still way, we haven't had LA and things like that come in. But I think it's interesting to see. So I don't know. I'm excited about this day. I know Kev, like I said, had to go to his bathroom. Kev's great. I love Kev. I'm very happy he's doing this. I'm happy you guys are all here. Thank you for being here. Let's see, I'm looking at some comments. I have a microphone here. I just got a new, like I said, new desk and everything. So I'm trying to figure out. Shot that New Mexico's running red. Yeah, I see that. New Mexico running red is pretty interesting. I don't think it's going to hold, because when I look at it, Santa Fe is reporting in, but Albuquerque isn't yet, I don't believe, or it's just starting to. And so I think that's going to be a big switch. Only 22% in. I mean, if he somehow takes New Mexico, yeah, that's only what? I'm sorry, I just clicked off the map. That's 5 electoral votes. It's not like it's the end of the world, but that Nevada, that little bit can add up to potentially a great Donald Trump victory. So, I don't think it's going to be the landslide people are some people expected, but I think it's going to be pretty solid. I think he's going to take this. I'm also seeing, there's a lot of interesting exit polling coming out, and it said that Trump has increased his support between in Wisconsin. They said black voters by double those more support. That's insane. It said he's I think he almost doubled his Latino support as well. That's crazy. I I just see from NBC News exit poll among LGBTQ voters, a big shift away from Trump. I mean, that doesn't shock me. But seeing those different racial demographics jumping to a Republican or jumping to Trump, I think is really cool. And I think it shows that maybe this whole idea that
you're here still. I can still hear you. I'm bringing you back.
Cool. Sorry, I was just going on a thing about how I saw.
Great, Pete.
That's good. I'm glad. I saw in Wisconsin it said that Trump doubled his black support, and then I saw that he almost doubled his Latino support across.
I did see that as well. I'm going to refresh this. See, especially it's 10 p.m. right now. We're going to start getting
here we go.
Key races. We're gonna have everything except for the furthest West Coast, which the furthest West Coast is likely Kamala anyways. So if we could really start seeing within the next 15 to 20 minutes, we could really start seeing a lot. We could start seeing a lot come in.
Let's see. Utah, they already called Utah. They already called Montana. Nevada just closed, so here we go.
Yep, I see that. Utah has been called. Wyoming's been called. Montana's been called. New Mexico going red. I see even Raven is saying.
Yeah, we were talking about that. New Mexico going red is shocking. I said I don't know if Albuquerque. I don't know if Albuquerque's being counted yet, but I mean, just wow. I mean, could you imagine New Mexico going red?
Oh, it's really. And it's still, I'm surprised Minnesota only having 2% of the vote reporting. I'm not saying it's obviously county specific for why it has Trump right now, but it'd be really interesting to see if Minnesota were to go red, given that Tim Walz is from the state.
Yeah.
He's the governor of the state. It's unlikely, and it's 2% of the vote reporting, so I'm not saying that that's what I think is going to happen. But I also see with 35% of the vote, Wisconsin is flipped. Wisconsin at one point obviously was showing Harris just a few percent ago. Donald Trump has obviously gotten a dump of votes, starting to flip Wisconsin a little bit. PA also flipping for Trump right now with 42% of the vote reporting, according to the Associated Press. Wow, a lot more coming in here, and we can see that there is really hope for
still ahead in Virginia.
There could absolutely be a Donald Trump sweep that we were not expecting. Or that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting Donald Trump to prevail, but not necessarily sweep the board. And he's already according to the Associated Press, he has 198. According to the Daily Wire, he has 220. Really interesting to see how this is starting to shake out.
Yeah, I mean, and also one thing I find interesting, Miami-Dade. Trump won Miami-Dade. I think that's a huge thing that we should not overlook.
The New York Times, according to Ben Shapiro, the New York Times currently has Trump at a 70% chance of victory tonight, which would be kind of a big deal, especially if we get those results tonight.
Well, you know what's interesting is everything I've seen has said results are going to be in tonight or tomorrow morning. And I don't know about you. I just put an energy drink in my leftist tears tumbler, and I'm prepared to stay up all night if I'll go to school on 2 hours sleep. I don't care.
I was informed earlier today. There's a chance that I may be asked to go to Utah, Montana. They're coming up with all the announcements up there on our Fox News bulletin. But I was asked earlier today if I would be interested in maybe helping out and going poll or watching the vote counting places in Virginia and Lynchburg area.
Oh, really?
Hear that?
I do hear the USA. It's beautiful. Yeah, I know. I was telling your audience that earlier or later on, I'm asked to go on our friend Marcel. He's having a little podcast. He invited me on as a swing state voter, and so I'll be going on there soon. After I'm done with you, I'll probably hop onto there. Yeah, I mean, this is.
I was asked to go look at Pennsylvania. It looks like Pennsylvania is basically it's a 10,000 point difference right there.
Yep, and he's ahead.
Mine currently says differently, but maybe I'm.
NBC says he's ahead. by about 17,000 votes.
I mean, we're at 45%, 44%, and it's a 10,000 vote difference either way. Wow. So insanely close, especially at nearing 50% reporting.
I mean, this is insane. Georgia has 80% in, and it's 51-47, and they're still not calling it. I wonder why. Wow.
Jacob has Trump train over in Louisiana. Thank you so much for joining, Jacob. I don't know if you are a subscriber at all, but please make sure you do. Like, subscribe, comment, share. I'd appreciate that.
Yes. Also, to the movie day for teachers, it's a review day. Even better. They're reviewing for their test on Friday. So, which means I get to play a Kahoot. And
what are you currently reviewing?
We just finished our election, the unit I call the foundations or structures of government, where I go through the 3 branches. And so we did some really cool stuff with the 3 branches. I had some really fun activities. They did a Supreme Court project. They were actually mock in the House of Representatives and got to go into committees and make bills. And they were assigned to parties and things like that. It was a ton of fun. They seem to really enjoy that. I love my job. That's all I can say. I love my job. I love what I do. I get to have so much fun. And I'm excited to see how interested my students are. Seeing my students' interest this week has been really fun, and I love it. And even them coming up to me today being like, "You excited for today? Today's your day." And I'm like, "Yep, I'm wearing my American flag shirt, my American flag shoes." And
this is the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. I say
Politica.
This is our Super Bowl.
I'll show everybody. I don't know. Let's see if I can get this in the camera.
Oh, look at that. That's great.
My Trump socks. I was wearing my Trump socks today, everybody.
Yeah, I didn't.
And I had a test. I had a law school exam earlier today. And I'll tell you, it's a stressful day anytime you got a test in law school. So it was quite a stressful day today. Sorry, I'm getting texts. I'm being asked at some point to go up on stage and do an update within the next 20-ish minutes. So I'll probably go do that in 20 minutes. I was trying to find water too. Couldn't find any more, which is just great when you're talking for 3 hours.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, this is gonna be it's gonna be crazy. I'm excited for this night.
Absolutely. I'm really interested to see how Nevada goes, but it is looking very strong nationwide for Trump. Everybody stay up late tonight, not just to watch my show. Georgia, 81% reporting right now, a difference of 200,000 votes for Trump. This is actually a really interesting map we're seeing right now. 81% reporting for Georgia, very strong for Trump. This is different, I believe, than my map, wasn't it? I think.
Arizona is almost a dead heat.
Yeah, I had Georgia going for Kamala.
So Arizona, for me, I have a difference of 40 votes.
Yep.
Yeah, 40 votes.
Wow. Arizona, let's take a look at that. Yeah, it's literally, you're right, 40 votes at 34% reporting. That's insane. I'm still fascinated by New Mexico. We're at 21% reporting, almost a quarter of the way there, and we still have Trump up by a decent amount. Let's take a look county by county. Let's take a quick look county by this one. We do have even some coming from these individual counties down here. That's really interesting. When we look at Arizona Senate, I think that's a really interesting one. You start looking here, and you do see Ruben Gallego at the Senate level is currently taking a decent amount of the vote percentage. However, Trump overall is winning the state, which is interesting.
In New Mexico, Republicans winning the Senate race right now.
Interesting. Let's take a look at a little bit more with the Senate. Maryland, we have the Democrat winning. An independent is currently winning the Nebraska Senate race.
Really?
Dan Osborne.
Oh, wow.
At 46% reporting. Bernie Moreno is winning right now with 51.1. Very close in Ohio.
Yeah, he's gonna run away with this thing.
Pennsylvania is just so close right now. It's looking like Virginia might be getting called for Trump.
No
it does
way.
Look like Virginia is very close to being called for Trump, at least according to Fox News. It does not look like it was officially called yet.
No, not yet.
But Fox News did seem very, very open to the idea when they had it up on the screen.
He's winning by about he just took another huge lead.
A cool 75 or a cool 25,000 votes.
Oh my God! If he takes Virginia, I mean,
look, I'm really looking. It's looking like the pathway to victory for Kamala is getting slimmer and slimmer. I was playing it out on my show last night, and I was like, hey, guys, be careful because don't get too cocky. Because I saw a few different pathways for Kamala, and all it took was 2 to 3 states, but it's looking like she's not even getting the states she was initially reported to get.
Pennsylvania just had another huge bump for Trump.
It is looking like big dumps coming in at 50% reporting. Pennsylvania is very close with just about a 60, 70,000 difference. Virginia, wow. Razor thin margin there at 25,000 votes. Difference at 65% reporting. I'm interested to see how county by county is really shaking out here. If we look at our Senate race, that's something I'm really interested in. If we look at Tim Kaine does currently lead in Virginia. I think that's one reason why they're hesitant to call it is because Tim Kaine is winning. Sorry, that's not what I meant to. Because Tim Kaine is still winning the Virginia Senate race here. With 51% of the votes. Very interesting. Hung Kao, I really hope he does get in. He's a very interesting character.
Yeah, I think he's an interesting guy.
Bernie Sanders did, in fact, win his Vermont.
Elizabeth Warren also did, in fact, win.
That's unfortunate. Kirsten Gillibrand winning. Elizabeth Warren, Chris Murphy. I'm trying to see who else we could take a look at here. Pennsylvania, Bob Casey is a very close difference of 7,000 votes right now. A difference of 7,000 votes for Pennsylvania. This is fascinating.
Newsmax has called North Carolina for Trump.
Interesting. Let's go back to our presidential list here.
I'll stay in for another minute, then I'm going to hop on over to my other podcast.
That's fine. I understand. Man, Virginia is 1% difference, 65% reporting. It's only getting better for Trump, though, everywhere pretty much. Michigan, I'm not even worried right now with how Michigan's doing. Everybody, it's just important that we keep an eye on all this because we do know what happened. It was looking pretty confident back in 2020. And we're at election night right now here on Speechless. Everybody, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Newsmax has Trump with 226. That's an interesting poll we got there. Booty up, Simba. I don't know if you can hear the music, but I'm bumping here right now. Pennsylvania does report Trump's up. I see that. New Mexico and Minnesota are also going red for House and Senate. Wow. New Mexico and Minnesota. Minnesota is still only at 2% reporting, according to mine. I can only take that with a grain of salt, given that Tim Walz is from there. But if they do switch, it'd be really fascinating. New Mexico is the more interesting one to me, given that it's 22% reporting, and it's still Donald Trump with a 10% lead. Oregon is leaning red, surprisingly. I see that, but I'm willing to bet, it's only 1% reporting. And if we look at the county by county, it's a closed yet. Yeah, we don't have Salem. We don't have Portland. I got an update that said Trump had been announced as the winner of Iowa. I'm not seeing it reflected on this map yet. I'm not seeing that yet. But it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, 35% reporting. Let's see what's going on we got Cedar Rapids, Des Moines. Man, I really like how their districts are set up. Look at Iowa's districts. How satisfying does that
That's so
look
great.
there? I know. If only every other state wasn't so gerrymandered.
Yeah. I mean, this is gonna be a long night. I can already tell it's gonna be a long night.
Absolutely. I yawn dramatically.
Yes.
Arizona starting to report at 50% reporting in Arizona, according to this, going for Kamala so far.
But a 16,000 vote difference.
It's about 16,000. Wow, what a dump. I did predict Arizona going for Kamala.
You did.
But
we still have a couple counties that haven't reported.
It's 16,000. It's 16,000 votes. There's a conga line currently happening here. Damon, thank you for joining. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think. Keep those comments coming, everybody, and keep subscribing. Make sure we get that subscribership up. We're only growing here. Wisconsin is 44% reporting. It's a 0.1% difference. It's a difference of about 300 votes, according to mine right now, at 44% reporting. Wow, such a close race there. That's insane. It keeps going back and forth. It's flipping.
Yeah, it's
up and down and up and down. A difference of 200 votes.
All right, well, I'm going to hop off yours. I'm going to hop on another podcast here, and then I'm going to eat dinner and relax for the night. So
totally understandable. I got 20, 30 more minutes max left in me. So
I get you.
Thank you for joining, Josh. We will keep being updated on Nevada. Let's hope it goes the way you say. Thank you, my friend.
Hope. Of course, man.
And that was Josh Bender, Nevada man, for the headline versus the truth. Man, are you guys fired up about this election? I'm fired up about this election. I'm so fired up. I believe Peyton's coming to bring me a water. That's fine. I appreciate any water. Like 10 minutes-ish? Okay. I will be going to report from the stage sometime soon. I hope you guys are having a great night out there. I hope you're enjoying the live stream. Please make sure you guys are sharing this with your friends. Trump looking better in Michigan. Let's take a look at Michigan right now. Let's take it a little bit closer. It does look a little bit better here. 19% in, 15 electoral votes on the line, with a difference of just over 10,000 votes, nearly 11,000 votes. Wisconsin is truly neck and neck. We can take a look at that one over here. At a 0.3% difference, just about 4,000 votes, 3,500 votes. Quite an interesting difference there that we're noticing. Yep, absolutely. Wisconsin is definitely becoming a much closer race. New Mexico has turned blue, but Minnesota is still red. Let's take a look at what is going on in Minnesota. Minnesota, is it still only at 2% reporting? Arizona at 48% reporting is looking for Kamala. New Mexico is looking like it has switched its place, but still pretty dang close there. Let's take a look at the county by county when we're looking at this. We do start seeing that Albuquerque, the Santa Fe area, Albuquerque is still not looking. You get down to Las Cruces, which is definitely, which is right on that southern border, looking a little bit more for Kamala. That's probably what's bringing in a little bit more of that blue wave down there. Arizona is still one that I called for blue. I think it could be Kamala. It's too early to call for sure, way too early to call for that one, but it would not surprise me. I had it in my initial prediction, Arizona potentially going. Let's go back up and see what, if any, movement we've had from over in Minnesota, because Minnesota is Tim Walz's home state. You look at Minnesota up here, you really have only, I mean, granted, we do have some votes starting to maybe trickle in from Minneapolis in that area, but overall, we still see such little reporting coming from Minnesota that it's really not even very notable. While it's worth joking about a little bit that Donald Trump is up right now. It's way too close to call. It's way too early to even entertain that entirely. What I do really like to see, though, is we got Virginia over here. Virginia is showing very strong for Trump. Virginia originally with the most recent polls having Kamala up at a margin of +4, +5 in a lot of national polls, and right now we're seeing it 65% reporting. At 65% reporting, Donald Trump is up by 25,000 votes, only a difference of about 0.7, but still, wow, what an interesting, what a fascinating difference that we currently have. What a fascinating difference that we currently have for the state of Virginia. Georgia over here, 82% reporting, and Donald Trump up by about 200,000 votes. It's still apparently too early to call, but I am really fascinated by the fact that Georgia does seem to be very, very strong for Trump. I want to pull up an article. I just got an update sent to me. I believe it's from the Daily Wire. Let's take a look right here. Let's see what we can get over to here. The New York Times says that Trump has won the popular vote. I think this is a clip actually from the Daily Wire, specifically from their update. Let's take a look and a listen to this clip right here of Ben Shapiro just moments ago. Let's listen to this. That is an insane thing to learn right there. An insane thing to learn. Donald Trump could become the first Republican in 20 years to win both the Electoral College and the popular vote. The New York Times is currently reporting that he will likely win the popular vote. What an absolutely insane night here for American politics. It's really seeming like it's shaping up to be even more than what we could have ever imagined for this race. If you are a Donald Trump fan, if you're a Kamala Harris fan, I'd be really interested to know your take. It's difficult to find some of them. I actually reached out to one today. It seemed as though he was going to a different party or something, but doesn't matter. We'll try to get him on at some point to talk about how he feels after tonight, because I can only imagine he's not very excited. So we're definitely going to get ready for an update sometime soon here. I'm going to make sure we see with Peyton when he wants you to get on up there to talk to everybody. But that's insane news to know that Donald Trump is likely going to win the popular vote, at least according to the New York Times. I'm seeing in the comment section that you're noticing that Michigan is starting to close in for Trump. Maybe. Let's take a look right over here. We are seeing a difference of less than 20,000 votes. I see that there. Virginia did just split blue. Very interesting to note, but it's still within. It's 15,000 votes. It is 15,000 votes as a difference for Virginia. That's still 15,000 votes is just a few of the counties, and that's 67% reporting. 15,000 votes at 67% reporting. Wow. That's still way too close to call, in my opinion. Do not give up hope. Do not give up hope. It's 67% reporting at 15,000 votes. It is still too close to call. It is still too close to call. You go down to Arizona, you see 48% reporting. Not much movement over there. since the last time we checked. Colorado called significantly for Kamala at 54% reporting. Kansas looking very strong for Trump right now. Interesting, it has not yet been called at 60% reporting. Missouri has been called. I don't know if I ever actually gave that update, but Missouri has been called for Trump. Iowa, not yet called, at least according to the Associated Press, but from what I understand, it would seem as though Iowa very well could go for Trump at 41% reporting. Let's take a look. It still seems like there's a lot of counties that could be coming in, but you do see that Des Moines and Cedar Rapids are reporting, and given that, it would give a good, very strong headway for Donald Trump to come in for a lot of those counties that are not necessarily in the city-based areas. We got to keep looking out here for some other options. So we got 20% reporting in Michigan, difference of 16,000 votes. Virginia, still a difference. Ooh, that margin is getting a little bit further. I don't know, 16,000 votes still, actually. Let's refresh the page, see if we're getting any other little dumps here and there. Still 16,000 votes. I am getting getting the signal that it might be time soon for me to go up on stage. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to bring back my phone to do here's what we're going to do. Looks like the mic is working. Let's get this camera flipped around. Back dual wide camera. We're going to get this all set up. I'll be going and addressing everybody here. Let's get my phone all set up here for this. Fix that out. Let's get this. Enter this. Oh, that's not good. Here we go. Don't worry, everybody. We will keep giving updates here for at least a little bit. I'll be going up on stage. I want to make sure I have the most updated list right here. I'm making sure with Peyton. I do see a lot of really close races here. Harris up at 112, at least according to current reporting. What are we seeing out of Michigan here? Let's try to take a look at the number. Here we go. Difference of less than 10,000 still at Michigan. Oh, Worth is still here. That'll help out. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do, everybody. I'm going to try to get Worth in my phone. Worth obviously knows how my phone works. He knows how this system that we got here works. So we're going to probably transfer over here soon. Yeah. Okay, Worth, you want to come back over here? We're not doing anything special with any of those microphones, but we are going to get up on stage here in a moment. Yeah.
Let's go.
Kevin. Oh, somebody. Okay,
Know where you're going. Yeah, because I think it's possible.
how are we doing, Liberty University? Woo! Everybody, my name is Kevin Phares. You might not know me, but you might have seen my flag back there that says my name on it. Please check out Speechless with Kevin Phares. This is my podcast. I've been live streaming here tonight. Got a great audience right here from your phone. Thank you guys so much for coming to this. Thank you for Turning Point USA for hosting. I'm just here to give a brief update for you. We obviously have started to see some pools closed on the West Coast. It does look like New Mexico is starting to flip a little bit for Colorado.
Just kidding.
She's really excited.
I'm kidding.
We got Arizona, which is very little reporting, but it does seem to be a little bit going for Kamala. But what I do want to say that might make some of you happier if you're wearing the red hats is that the New York Times reported that they are predicting that Donald Trump will likely win the popular vote.
Yeah, he will.
There are two things that come with that, because that might make you excited at face value, but with that, you might also need to remember that it'll be 20 years. If that is to happen, it'll be 20 years since the last time that a Republican has won both the popular vote and the Electoral College, if that were to happen with Donald Trump. Now, that's also a huge deal because this is also being predicted to be the election with the most votes in American history, which Donald Trump would become the presidential candidate that would take the most votes in American history of any candidate.
Trump's leading in Arizona.
I know. And so we're seeing obviously different things come up here. We have very, very close races in a lot of our swing states. Like I said, some of our West Coast polls are going to close. I know it's been a long day for me, but they're going to be closing within the next 30-ish minutes. So please stay tuned, everybody. I don't know. Dayton will let us know when we're actually having to close this place down. But do not worry, guys. We have a lot more to come. And thank you guys so much. God bless you. God bless America. And thank you so much for being here.
Woo! New Mexico back to red.
Try not to cheer for Kamala next time, Shannon.
Huh?
That was good.
That was
Cheer for Kamala.
okay. And also back to red.
Wasn't that fun? We got so many fun people here tonight. We got so many fun people. Let's walk around. Let's meet a person or two. Come on, let's dance. You know what it is?
I don't want to dance.
Oh, okay. Well, we will not film you.
I got it.
You want to dance?
Yeah.
Let's dance. Let's do your best pro dance. They call me the dancing queen.
They call it dancing queen.
The dancing queen. You know who doesn't dance? You know who's not a queen? Kamala. Kamala doesn't dance. She doesn't have fun. No fun, Kamala. They call her.
Because she's not open for her.
There's so much fun here. We keep saying we're having fun, then we won't remember how tired we are. I'm gonna go back. Let's get baby back in the corner. This dancing queen is not dirty dancing tonight. We're gonna get back into the corner. That's a multi-layered show.
Need someone?
Work this video. It's such an easy job. I heard you were gonna leave earlier.
Yeah, man. A guy from the hall came. He said the hall election party was not it.
Oh, well, let's bring this back. Hello, everybody. We are back. Thank you, Worth, for your help. I appreciate it. God bless you, man. And go subscribe. If you're not subscribing, go subscribe. Thank you. Everybody who's out there, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that fun stuff. Whew. I'm going to make sure to close out. Thank you guys, everybody, for any of your support in the comment section. We can't get complacent. This race ain't over until the checkered flag flies. Absolutely. I hope you guys might have liked some of my dancing. I hope you enjoyed it. Aw, thank you, Jet Set for Jesus. I appreciate it. Eminem was a Kamala supporter. let's take a look at the Electoral College map a little bit more. You know, I'll tell everybody out there. So I voted today. I got my sticker. I voted today. I got a provisional ballot. What that means is that I voted in a place where I was not a registered voter prior to. I registered day of. And so I registered day of today. And given that I registered today, I went and voted. And I'm usually a voter in Illinois, but today I voted in Virginia. And that's why it would mean a lot for me for Virginia to turn. And I'm getting the question here, is it important that we win VA? Now, it could be. It very well could be. It depends on how Arizona shakes out. Looks like Donald Trump actually took the lead. In the time that I went to give a speech, Donald Trump is taking the lead in Arizona. New Mexico, obviously we're seeing Kamala did eke that out and is now up 50,000 votes. But how important is it that we win Virginia? That's a huge, huge question because it really depends. If Pennsylvania keeps on its way for Trump, if Michigan comes in more, I mean, it's a difference of 4,000 votes in Michigan right now. If that ends up eking out for Trump, it won't matter. Wisconsin, if that stays on its same trajectory, it won't matter. But Virginia could play a key role if we don't end up getting if we end up losing Pennsylvania, Michigan, or even maybe a little bit of Wisconsin. But Virginia is not quintessential, but it could be. That's what I'm saying here. How important is it that we get Virginia? I will say very important, only for the fact that it's important we get as much as we can because we need to make this too big to rig. This needs to be too big to rig. And that's why with Virginia, we need to win. It is important. It is important that we win. It's looking like North Carolina is shaping up for Trump. Georgia at 88% is shaping up for Trump. Kansas at 69% reporting, is shaping up for Trump. New Mexico, dang, not where I want it to be right now. Why were they playing My Name Is by Eminem? Doesn't seem fitting. I'm sorry. I didn't pick the music. I think they're trying to just like appease a crowd. I didn't hear that song. I didn't hear them playing that. Thank you very much for the compliments and kind words. It's very nice of you guys. Thank you so much for watching all of this. We're at 3 hours now that I've been live. On California is going Kamala, no contest. Maybe we can eke out a congressional seat. I do know. I figured Troy the Jet. I figured that was you. Troy is my roommate, everybody. Troy, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in. California will highly likely go for Kamala. It is what Kamala, if Kamala were to lose California, I would be drastic. So Kamala got her start in politics in California by blowing Willie Brown and becoming the district attorney. It's a very reductive point of it, but it's basically what happened. And so she basically was dating a married guy that had a lot of political influence, and then worked her way up in the politics of California. If she were to lose California, not only because of that, but also because it has been a deep blue battlefield for a long time, it would be very, very surprising if she were to lose that. Election alert. Currently, Iowa, according to Fox News, Iowa has been called for Donald Trump. Iowa, according to Fox News, has been called for Donald Trump. This is still not showing that, but if Iowa truly is called for Donald Trump, that could put us over the edge to 200 electoral votes. Would be absolutely huge. And I appreciate this. I wish to project my voice out there and say, come on, Virginia, get your heads together. Vote Trump. I was out there. I helped Turning Point here. I helped them register a lot of different voters for this election here in Lynchburg. They're playing One Direction right now. You guys can probably hear it. This has been an absolutely insane night. Virginia is really what I'm really fascinated with the way that it's currently starting to shake out. We can see here the breakdown specifically, literally a difference of 30,000 votes right now. 30,000 votes. Who knows where those could, with 71% reporting, man, though it is getting a wider margin there. But Michigan has switched to Trump. Michigan has officially switched to Trump. Pennsylvania currently going for Trump. Wisconsin going for Trump. Wow. Wow. With a 9,000 vote difference. Wisconsin at a pretty sizable margin too. Absolutely, Troy. Absolutely. If you guys are on Instagram, go check out Troy. I believe it's Troy the Jet on Instagram. He's got a good following. He's a track star. He's a Christian. He's a preacher. And he's darn good at it. Fight, fight, fight. That's where we're at right now. Fight, fight, fight. We went up to 204. Which one got called? Was that 204 might be Iowa. Yep, Iowa officially called 210. 210. We are 60 electoral college votes away. 60 electoral college votes away from a Donald Trump presidency, everybody. 60 electoral college votes away from a Donald Trump presidency. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? We are close. 2 out of 7 battleground states have been called. This is beautiful. This is an amazing, this is a one-of-a-kind election night. I'm floored right now. I don't know about you guys, but I am floored. So floored. Newsmax says Trump with 242. You know, here's what I'm thinking. What could be is that Minnesota, Wisconsin, if you were to add a lot of these in there, it could add up to 242. Some of the more clear ones, like 84%. North Carolina could maybe be called for Trump. Georgia could maybe be called for Trump. You say it's getting too close. Look, I would say I'd like to see a lot more, but I also will say I'm not uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable, but I'm not uncomfortable either. I'd be interested. Let's go back. It's been a little while. Daily Wire also has Trump at 242. There's also, they still have Virginia. I'm not convinced, but maybe on Virginia. Let's see what's called here. That's going more for Trump. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Maine, Michigan. They still have here for Kamala. New Mexico. Arizona is going blue. What did I say, everybody? Right now, Arizona going blue. However, AP, Associated Press, doesn't have it going red. So maybe I'm wrong. We have nothing from Nevada, according to the Daily Wire. Let's go back here. Still nothing here either. Fascinating that we don't have anything from Nevada yet, except for the fact that we do know that they're the slowest at counting anything ever. You're right. You're not wrong. Trump stretching in Pennsylvania. Wow. Wow. We are only finding out more and more and learning more and more as the night goes on. Everybody, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends. I'd appreciate all of that. It is an election night special here, and what a special night it is. Excuse me, it's been quite a long day for me, as I'm sure it might be for many of you as well. Let's go and check out what's going on Twitter. I'd like to see how Twitter is currently shaping up. Let's take a look at some, like, we can see AOC here. AOC's got quite an interesting take right now. AOC says, we ran 80,000 election simulations and women are pissed off and well organized in every one of them. Interesting. CBS News exit poll in Michigan, per our polling team's younger voters are narrowly going for Trump right now. Narrowly, but younger voters are going for Trump in Michigan, at least. The deficit for Harris is in the large part to younger men in Michigan. Good for young men. Good for young men. This will be an interesting. Let's take a look at what the Daily Wire has to say right here. The quote at the day, they will blame it on the American people. Take a look and a listen. It'll be our fault if Donald Trump is to win. If Republicans truly do come out this election cycle, it will be our fault. It will be the American people's fault. We're going to talk about that. I'll probably go live at least one more time sometime this week, if not by the end of the week. And we're going to talk about exactly what that is. And I'm hoping I'm going to find Kamala supporters. I'm going to find Democrats to talk to them and see what they say so we can hear it out of the mouths of babes. It's exactly what we'll do. Biden went to bed at 9:30 per a White House official, according to Jack Posobiec. Fascinating. That doesn't surprise me. Trump now has 85% chance of winning the election, according to the New York Times. Wow. Cenk Uygur. This is an interesting take from Cenk Uygur. He's with the Young Turks, a very socialist organization. Either side can still win, but here's what turned out to be BS, a Kamala Harris landslide. I knew I shouldn't have believed all the optimistic Democrats who were buried in their delusional bubble. Here's a lesson Democrats will never learn. People hate the establishment. He's right. He's right. He's right. There's nothing else to be said. Cenk Uygur is right on that point. Top polls closed in all battlegrounds. Let's see what happens. Donald Trump wins Georgia, according to the Post Millennial. Let's go see if this is actually called on our actual election map. Not yet called, but he is winning by over 100,000 votes at 90% reporting, 85% reporting in North Carolina, and he's winning by 70,000 votes. Virginia at 73% reporting, and he's losing by just about 50,000 votes. It is still pretty close there. New Hampshire is an interesting one. I would have expected New Hampshire to be called by now, but if we look here, New Hampshire actually has a much different turnout than I actually would have expected. At 61% reporting. Yeah, the percentage is different, but it's really only a difference of 23,000 votes. It's something Donald Trump could eke out a red New Hampshire. And while it's unlikely, it is possible. Georgia was officially called for Trump. Still not on this one, but this one seems to be a little bit slow. But I don't mind that because I don't mind somebody taking their time in this instance because I really hate when it's called like that's what we have is we have other people that call states for certain people, and that happened a lot. That's happened a lot in the past where you call it a little early And it's just like, come on, give it a chance, give it some time. New Mexico getting a wider margin for Kamala. It's getting wider and wider. Oh, you can come to make fun of me. I'm a yapper. I got a yap. Yappers got a yap. Voters got to vote. But no, we're looking right here. We got Arizona. Arizona, only 3,000 vote difference at 50% reporting. Georgia over here, according to many, Georgia has been called for Trump. Not according to the Associated Press yet, but we'll keep an eye on it. North Carolina at 85% reporting. We have 130,000 votes difference. Virginia, obviously Kamala's taken a lead there, but it's still only a 1.5% difference with just about 70,000, a little less than 70,000 vote difference, more like 65. Definitely within the margin of a win if we were to able to squeak out just a little bit more there. I'm really not thinking so. I'm not calling. I obviously cannot say Virginia is lost. It's not lost, but my optimism is slowly waning. We get over into Pennsylvania here, and Pennsylvania is a lot higher for Trump at about 100,000 votes. We're really winning that one, and that was one I did not originally call. I thought Pennsylvania was definitely going for Kamala. I did not think Pennsylvania was going to be going for Trump. But you can see here Pennsylvania going for Trump a lot more than I would have ever expected at 51%. Michigan, 26% of the vote reporting, but Donald Trump widening that lead at 40,000 votes, 50,000 votes. Wisconsin here, a 25,000 vote up. Minnesota at 9% reporting, and Donald Trump only keeps getting better. And we are still seeing some votes come out of Minnesota or Minneapolis and St. Paul area and Duluth. The urban areas are reporting. I'm also looking up there. It looks as though race seems to be Donald Trump gained significantly on race with Hispanic voters. Donald Trump currently taking about 40% of the Hispanic vote. That's a really, really good, is a really, really good place to be. Also, we can look right here. We can look at Fox News. Oh my gosh, there's another update from the Daily Wire. Let's take a look and a listen to this clip that I can pull up for us here. And apparently, Kamala's team is no longer giving comment. Let's take a look and a listen right here. Wow. One more time. Oh my God. Oh my God. What does that say? They're not even responding to Quest for Comment anymore. We still have the West Coast. They will most likely go blue. You're right. But let's even play around with this a little bit, okay? Let's play around with what we currently have. I'm going to bring, and I'm going to put side by side on my screen. I am going to put these two maps. Let's reset this map right here. Here we go. I need to play around with my screen a little bit. Sorry, everybody, this is going to take a second but let's go to the election night map, and I'm going to compare it to this one. So I have election night open on the other one, the Associated Press poll. Let's make sure, okay, so we have this up over here. Right now, Georgia is going pretty solidly for Trump. So is North Carolina. Let's change those up. Oh, here we go. Georgia going for Trump. North Carolina looks like it's going for Trump. We got Pennsylvania looking like it's going for Trump. Come on. Sorry, my internet's being wonky. Keeps resetting. Maybe it's the size that's the issue. Maybe it's the size. Let's do this. Here you go. Come on. Oh, maybe I didn't have the sound on for the Ben Shapiro clip. I'm very sorry about that. But apparently, he said that Kamala Harris' campaign is no longer going for, is no longer responding to comment. Let's go back over here. So right now, according to the election map that I got going on, We got Georgia. Let's try to open up another. 270 to win. Let's pull this up. Share this tab. Okay. Is that better? That looks better. So we got Georgia, North Carolina. We got Pennsylvania currently leaning Trump. We got Michigan currently leaning Trump. We got Wisconsin currently leaning Trump. We got Arizona has flipped for Trump. New Mexico going for. So what is currently not known. Idaho, Minnesota currently is going for Trump, but it's too close to call. Let's keep it there. Right now, we're looking at a solid. We don't need Nevada. We don't need Arizona. At everything that we currently have, it would seem as though, let's double check the maps. Am I missing something? Because as of right now, if Donald Trump were to take every state that he currently has, if he were to take every state that he currently has, if he takes Pennsylvania, if he takes Michigan, if he takes Wisconsin, he wins. He wins this election. What am I missing? What am I missing? How am I feeling? I'm tired, but I'm damn excited about the outcome of this election. But we are, yeah, even in this hypothetical that I have right here, we're losing Virginia. I want to win Virginia. But even in this hypothetical that we have right here, we're losing Virginia, and Trump still wins. What am I missing on this? What am I missing on this map right here? This is the current projection. All those go for Kamala. We have a difference of 10 right there. If we get Alaska, if we get Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, we are set. We are set. And if we compare that, let's go back to this map. And we can see if we get Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, then we will win. Then we will win. We're minutes away from the last polls closing, at least in the continental United States. Expected around 11 p.m. for all of those. Outside of the United States, we'll have Hawaii and Alaska in the wee hours of the morning. It's almost 11 p.m. here. I'm getting reports that Michigan is flipped. Not according to this at 27% reporting, but I very well could be wrong. Difference of 4% in the vote. About 70,000 votes, 60,000 votes. Things are looking good to win control of both houses. Well, that's really nice to know. Let's actually take a look if I can. I'd like to look more at our Senate. Pennsylvania currently going good for McCormick. Let's look at Virginia. Hung Cow not necessarily pulling out how I thought he would. We absolutely will lose California and Washington. Oregon, I would say, is likely as well, but I guess we'll see. Ohio, Bernie Moreno, that's basically callable. Dave McCormick, real close race there of just about 60,000 votes, less than. Michigan, Mike Rogers looking to eke it out at 30,000 vote difference, doing quite well. Wisconsin over here, Eric Hovde, only winning by about 5,000 votes right now. What a close race. Minnesota, only 9% reporting, not even worth talking. Tim Sheehy, I would say, is likely to win Montana again, but still too close to call. Kerry Lake, I would say it would not be surprising to me if Kerry Lake loses. Kerry Lake is relatively unlikable unless you're a diehard Trumper. I wanted Senate still. I like looking at the Senate. Maine, according to Fox News, Maine has been called for Kamala Harris. But at least one of the districts there has been called for Trump. Maine Senate was called, I believe, for Angus King, who is technically an independent. Senate is 50 Republicans and Democrats, 37. That's, I think, if you include Ohio, which I think you should. I think the Senate definitely is callable for Republicans. No matter where you guys are tuning in from, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, and share with your friends. I'd appreciate that. We are just starting now, where these polls are closing. Results are expected soon. I'm really interested to see what we start. Yes, Washington already called for Kamala, not a single vote reporting, but I would have probably called that too. California, 54 electoral college votes. That's what really gives Kamala Harris that boost into the 179 area. But it's really unfortunate to see that when you win states like New York, Illinois, California, that's when you know. I mean, like, if those are the only three you're winning, this is why we don't have a pure democracy, everybody. This is why I don't know if you can hear the boos either from the crowd. This is why we don't have a pure democracy. Is because otherwise we would be decided significantly by New York, Chicago, and LA. They started playing Shake It Off by Taylor Swift, which I know you might not like Taylor Swift because Idaho has officially been called for President Trump, now pushing us into the 214 territory. I'm still surprised the Associated Press still has not called Georgia. But we can go all the way over back to the Daily Wire. And we can see here 246 for Trump, getting us real close. With 2% in Oregon, we're even already seeing 70% for Trump with that 2%. It's just one county, though. And it's really unfortunate. People actually went out and voted for RFK Jr. You got to be a real asshole to go out and do that. What are the chances Trump wins is the question I'm getting. I think the New York Times currently has it at like 70 to 80% Trump. What do I believe? It does seem to be getting closer, but I still don't think Kamala really has all that much of a shot, but I think it's even less. But it's not over till it's over. So it is not over until it is over. But what I will say is this live stream might be coming close to being over. It has been 3.5 hours that I've been here talking to you. And I don't know if you've ever talked for 3.5 hours straight. But it's not easy. And so I really would appreciate if you guys would consider supporting the show, supporting the channel in some way. If you have the means, I'm not going to beg for it, but if you have the means to maybe consider a Venmo or a Cash App contribution, so I can keep making sure I get better microphones, better interviews, better people, so I can keep expanding the channel, expanding the show, and making it better and better and better. Because that's what I do, is I try to make everything better. And I try to do it so that I can bring you some great content, some independent content, some fun content, and to remain independent, to remain fun, and to make it so that I'm not incentivized by anything other than helping you and giving you more information. Supporting through Venmo or Cash App makes that better. So if you would consider, I'd appreciate it. It's the bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, and their heavy hitters are coming up to bat. It's time to start worrying. Maybe. Let's go back a little bit briefly to this right here. Oregon starting to report a lot for Kamala. Nevada, results expected soon. I would beg to differ. If we take a look here, we obviously have 214 to 179. Kamala really is needing something in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. Michigan still only at 28% reporting there. Way too early to call. But if we look at, I think it's really interesting though, because if you look down here and you look at the popular vote, currently Donald Trump is sitting great. Is sitting great at 52.4%. I'm neither of these. I am actually pretty close to right in the middle of both of those. So I'm 23 years old. And if you're wondering why I'm here, I have a degree in this. Thank you, Traddy. I appreciate it. I'm 23, almost 24. Everybody, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share with your friends. I'd appreciate it. Looking through these polls a little bit one more time as we're going into over 3.5 hours live right here at this election night gala, election night live stream. Nevada, we're probably not going to have any call tonight. I'd say we look right here. We got Georgia. Georgia is looking very strong for Trump at 91%, 90% reporting. However, it could be getting close enough to where maybe that we have to do a recount there. North Carolina, 87% reporting. Trump winning by almost 3%. The chances of Kamala coming back there, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but you could finish the sentence. Virginia, Kamala having that margin just get wider and wider. I'm not liking what I see there. Pennsylvania, Trump, however, getting a margin that's much wider, and I do like to see that. Michigan, I can't believe. Wisconsin, great. Minnesota at 12% reporting. Let's take a look at this. Man, that's actually a really interesting map. Even at 12%, you'd expect a lot more with Tim Walz being the vice presidential candidate of Kamala's campaign. I would expect a lot more, but maybe I'm crazy. We are on our way, everybody. We are on our way. Watermelon Crawl. Some pretty cool people know about this song. Wow. Let's get back one more time. We will double check. New Mexico, Arizona. Arizona squeaking out for Trump, only 0.2% difference down in Arizona. If Trump is able to squeak out Arizona, that'd be quite an impressive feat. Let's take a look real quick at our House races. Look at our House races. It's looking to get the 218 majority. The GOP is definitely on its way. However, we don't have a lot of we don't have any of California yet. And California will definitely give that big boost to the Democrats. California having 52 races called, or 52 potential races, I believe. They have 52, and so if you want to, you could. I mean, it's not going to be all 52, but you're going to see a big bump in California. Got a lot of races called in Illinois. I'm interested, being from Illinois myself. You have a lot of the races up here called. I'm actually really interested in Darren LaHood's district in Illinois. That's not what I was looking for. Let's go look up, because Darren LaHood is a good friend of mine. Darren LaHood. Election results. The AP has called his race. Oh, he was running uncontested. I actually didn't know that. I thought he was running contested. Mike Bost has won his race in Illinois, I believe, as well. Let's take a look at some of these different districts. Man, I'm wondering, what will the left say? Ohio has officially been called for Bernie Moreno, according to the Fox News decision desk. That's their Senate race. This one still isn't, but I would definitely believe it. Also, Boot Scoot Boogie is a phenomenal song. Texas, Ted Cruz has already been called, at least by the Fox News decision desk. That was over an hour ago. I'm surprised they have not called Virginia yet for Tim Kaine. That is the one thing giving me a little hope, that I do not see Virginia necessarily called anywhere specifically for the Democrats. Well, it's definitely not inspiring hope right now. According to the Fox News decision desk, because of Ohio's win, we will reach at least the halfway point to get the majority in the Senate. At least according to the Fox News decision desk, Republicans have gained a majority in the Senate. So that'll be quite an interesting feat for Republicans. And assuming Donald Trump wins the presidency, we would have a very, very united government, at least, under that. Yep, you're starting to see, obviously, 111 for the Dems as opposed to their 70-something from earlier. You're starting to see those races get called in California. We got some in Colorado, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, some called for Democrats. New Mexico, it's looking like the entire state's going blue so far, at least in terms of Congress. Texas winning out a lot, but it does look like maybe some of them have switched over. It's a great song, too. Let's see, anything else? What has been called for? Let's go check out our governorships. I'm interested. North Carolina has been called. Interestingly enough, North Carolina has been called for a Democrat governor. It'd be very interesting to see. If Trump wins North Carolina, while a Democrat were to win. A Democrat to win their governorship. Vermont, weird. Vermont going for a Republican for their governorship. Vermont is one of the strangest states. Same with New Hampshire. A very strange state. They must be very moderate Republicans. If anybody knows anybody from Vermont or New Hampshire that'd be willing to come onto this show, I'd really appreciate it. That's funny. Send them my way, Big Seal guys. Send them my way. I'd like to know what they have to say about the state of their current politics. I'd be very interested. It's crazy to me how we look at Pennsylvania, and currently in Pennsylvania, we're hitting 73% of the vote, and Trump is leading by nearly 200,000 votes. That's a really, really good place to be. Also, I appreciate that. I'm likely to do more interviews about the state of the election sometime later this week. But I am also running into, what is it now? 3 hours and 45 minutes on this live stream, everybody. And this room is clearing out. It is 11:15 here in Lynchburg, Virginia. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my page, go check me out everywhere, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, all of them, because you never know when I could get banned on one of them for saying something true, like men can't become women and women can't become men. So make sure you guys follow me everywhere, and stay tuned for more election updates. We got a lot. A boo. Boo. A boo for Kevin. A boo for me. He's super not keen on going on. Well, that sucks. I just wanted to get his perspective. Not my fault he lacks brain cells. But nope. I appreciate you guys staying with me for so long. I think that this stream has been a lot of fun for me. And do not worry. We're not ending the fight. Like Donald Trump says right there, fight, fight, fight. And I appreciate you guys. God bless you. God bless America. Truly, God bless America. And all I can say is for the rest of the night, stay up, pray up, and get ready. Because if you think tonight was hectic, imagine how the next 4 years is going to be. Good night, everybody.